Welcome everybody to Adrift in Aldhalor, our weekly actual play D&D show set in our homebrew world of Aradun. We license our music through musicbed.com. We use Bardly as our way of dispersing the music amongst ourselves. And sometimes we use TabletopAudio for Ambience and all that fun stuff, and occasionally Syrinscape. Bunch of cool stuff. But I'm going to bring Shannon on to talk about the partners of Paradice, the folks that give us lovely support and help motivate us and give us codes for discounts. Shannon.
Yes, all of those things. Also, for my fellow players here, record on Audacity, because I just started recording.
For me
I
as well.
forgot.
I forgot too. Uh-oh, everyone's going to see Audacity on our screen, my screen for a second.
Oops. Sorry, we usually remind ahead of time, but forgot. Hello! Happy Monday, or whenever you're watching this. Hope you're doing fabulous. Welcome to Paradice. I'm going to talk about the wonderful people that support us here in Paradice, starting with Arcane Spectacles. Step in to Arcane Spectacles, where every roll of the dice is an adventure. Their exotic wood dice vaults and hand-selected dice sets are the perfect treasure for any tabletop RPG enthusiast. And with their personalized D&D themed Christmas ornaments, you can keep the magic of your games alive all year round. Each ornament can be customized with your party's names, making it a unique and meaningful memento. So why wait? Join them at arcanespectacles.com and roll for the ultimate tabletop experience. And scroll. Next, we have Underground Oracle Publishing. They are a best-selling, Emmy-nominated TTRPG publisher building new and exciting settings for the cipher system of every genre you can imagine. Each setting includes everything you need to explore its unique world, including lore, species, descriptors, foci. I lost my place. I'm going to start that over. Including lore, species, descriptors, foci, creatures, ciphers, artifacts, and all of the rules that you need to play. Their current focus is Harrow the Blighted Plain. I don't know if it's current anymore. I need to double check because it's okay. Their past focus and Kickstarter success has been Harrow the Blighted Plain, a Crystalpunk fantasy setting filled with fungal oases, massive sand seas, and a long-buried magic tech. For as little as $3, you can join their Patreon and help shape Harrow in each of the worlds that they create. Their current focus now is Wild Space.
Yes, that's correct.
But I need some more information on that. So go check them out and find out for yourself.
They're also having an end of summer sale on all of their stuff. So go ahead and go check it out to get some goodies for cheaper.
Yay! Next, we have Edward Yorke. He is our character artist. He's an illustrator based in the UK who makes art for games and books. To visit his portfolio and get in contact with him, visit eyorke.com. Last but not least, we've got 1985 Games. They create affordable, accessible, high-quality accessories for D&D and other tabletop role-playing games. Sean here uses their NPC cards. Tell us about them, Sean.
Oh, they're really great.
Awesome, thank you.
They got quirks and stuff on them. They actually are very fantastic. They have individual art for each character. It's really great. They also just finished a Kickstarter for their Studio Ghibli-inspired setting.
Ooh, that's
that I just missed backing. I wanted to back it, and I just missed the deadline.
They don't have, you can't,
Clay didn't arise from the ether. I definitely paid for that.
Hey! Thank you, Clay. Invoice from the ether. So keep an eye out for future Kickstarters because I'm sure they will have more. In the meantime, if you'd like to purchase any of their accessories, use the code paradiceprod for 10% off your entire order. Couple of miscellaneous things here, and then we're gonna get things started. We got some recaps on Discord in our Discord server. If you haven't joined us in Discord, come join us. Sean writes recaps, one-pagers, lovely, quick, easy ways to get caught up on our previous episodes. So yeah, do the thing, do that, come join us. And join us in Paradice on Bluesky, Twitch, Twitter, /X, YouTube, Discord, Instagram, and the TikTok. Well done.
Oh, good job.
Thanks.
All right, let's bring everyone
Bring the rest of the goobers on here.
Goober.
Oh,
yeah,
there they are.
You call those
you
goobers?
goober. Yeah,
Call
you're all
me what my mom
goobers.
calls me.
You guys ready?
Sep goobers.
Are you ready?
You're all done fighting?
Never.
Play the
I'll
intro
turn this
music.
campaign around.
We were not fighting.
You started.
Man, Stefan's so good at looking offended that I thought he was frozen.
Got a good scour.
He's very convincing.
Mustache is on
Did-
point
was that
tonight,
just-
Stefan.
Did I hear that correctly?
Shannon.
What?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
Oh,
Can't believe you did that.
You children. You children. Someone tooted.
Now we'll look around the room,
We've done
determine who it
We all
was.
know who it is.
it. I think we do.
Yes.
Anyway,
It was
Pretty-
Stefan's cat.
Yeah. Pretty feeding
who's
up
just right next to the microphone.
Were we gonna do D&D tonight? or
That was a little cat anus that I was mimicking.
Okay,
Is
can
that-
we play now,
Is
please?
that what that
Oh,
was?
it's
Start the
Brown
recap. Recap. Let's recap. Last time.
He wanted to know.
Would you like to
Shannon.
recap?
No.
I don't know what one of those looks like. Stefan, can you do that again?
Nope. I need to shift the cameras. Last time,
Oh my god.
On
let's just jump in.
On Cat Anatomy.
Last we left off. In the city of Hyven, our heroes gathered for the premiere of Jackie Touche, Bard Extraordinaire. The name seems to be sticking, but much to the chagrin of Jacquet Touchard. But nonetheless, he made the most of the name and his opportunity to perform for the crowds lined up outside the Harlequin and Chalice. Once inside, our heroes immediately began the celebrations with many libations, as Jacquet prepared his show. The spotlight struck the stage, and without introductions, Jacquet took the stage and began spinning tales and rapping his drum to inspire and entertain the crowd. He recounted the adventures of his companions under the new party name, Iron and Mana. He attested to the bravery of Saskia, the strength and will of Fionn, the ingenuity of Bruce, and the leadership of Septimus as they saved the village of Billowgrass. He pressed onward to sing to the honor of the city itself, and to touch the hearts of both the laborer and the merchant present. Overall, Jackie Touche's premiere was a success. We'll have to wait to see what the Hyven Times says in the papers. Iron and Mana gathered afterwards to enjoy the evening and to enjoy their rewards for saving Billowgrass. But the drinks turned to questions of self, honor, and family. As each shared a part of their story, each somewhat eschewed from home for one reason or another, and some looking for that which is missing, a grandfather, a sister, a brother, a place in this world. Ultimately, under the buzzing electrum lights and alcohol of the Harlequin and Chalice, our heroes bonded and truly became Iron and Mana. But as the merriment continued, a visitor interrupted. Professor Essa Hyven, a Firbolg from the Academy, offering the party work that would take them from the Aldhalor Islands on an excursion across the Carencia to a northern land previously unexplored. The party would have to winter with the expedition there. Such a long and dangerous mission came with a pretty reward. 15,000 silver pieces for a 4 to 5 month expedition to the lands of Noldador, thought to be the ancestral homeland of the Gnomish people. The party finished the evening with only a few other interruptions, including Jacquet speaking with his contact Reardon, one of the bandits that he sent ahead and, for lack of a better way to put it, rehabilitated from a criminal to his agent amongst the streets. And he was sending him specifically to look for a witness to the murders that occurred in the temple court not too long ago, that the party is currently somewhat investigating. Specifically looking for a young boy named Omar who had witnessed the murders, or has been said to have witnessed the murders. But They finished their drinks and eventually sought the comforts of their beds and rest for the next day to come. This is where we left off. Party got some rest, slept through the night in their respective places of rest. Some at a hostel down the road, and others in the standard rooms, and some in the most expensive suite in the lower city. But nonetheless, the morning comes, and for many of you, with a splitting headache and dehydration. And for some, not at all, like Septimus. His typical disciplined morning, as he is not a drinker.
I'm sorry. Are you done with your recap?
Yes.
Yeah, can we play now?
I think you missed something in your recap.
What did I miss?
The entire morning that we talked.
I missed the morning. Then you're correct. If someone would like to recount their morning for me, they can.
Can I grade you on that recap?
No, because I worked 12 days straight, and that's why I don't have a mind for what actually happened last week.
That's
That's fair.
And I distracted him today.
And
so I
Mike
couldn't
distracted
write
me
his recap.
today, so I couldn't watch the episode.
And you probably have
Damn
heat
it,
stroke,
Mike.
so
And
drink a little
I
water.
might be dying.
Do you
No.
have water?
I do actually have water.
He was in water all day. Look at him, that guppy.
Yeah,
It's like a
today we
raisin.
discerned that Mike is a lizard and I'm a guppy because he likes to sit in the sun and I like to swim.
What a pair you two make.
Right?
Oh, that's
Oh
a
my
new
God.
that's a new story for Jacquette, the lizard and the guppy.
There you go.
There you
Based
go.
on the two that entered last evening to
Mhm.
comment on his performance.
Oh, you all met
Um,
the next morning to decide what you're going to do for the day. Some of you were going to go do some other stuff. I don't know. It didn't seem that important.
I mean, Septimus reveals his fear of drowning,
Oh, that's right.
which, and Jacquette, gave a little backstory about his time in Domuzerum. But yeah, that's nothing that matters. That's okay.
No, please enlighten us a little bit more.
You'll have to watch the recap for that.
Well,
But we did leave off with Septimus, and obviously, none of this actually happened. But Septimus was going to the library. Bruce and Fionn were heading to the Hyven Times about advertising, and Jacquette told Saskia to come with him to do something, of which he did not elaborate on.
That sounds right.
Also, Jacquette did tell everyone about his death, so that seems kind of relevant.
Yes. Oh, that's right. Because they asked you what.
Asked about it.
Yes.
Yeah, as he held
I was asking-
Bruce and was like, "Have you ever looked into the depths of hell? Have you seen through the walls of fire?" And Bruce is just like, "Nope. What you talking about?"
Oh gosh. Okay.
I think is what happened. I'm not actually really sure. So
That sounds correct. I did know those things, but I don't know where I thought they happened. Okay, so that's where we're starting off then, with the lot of you splitting up, I guess. Now, I know we were somewhat entering into a pseudo downtime, and these can be, I guess, the first events of the downtime. We can kind of go through these, and then after that, it can be what you wish to do. Septimus, yours is a bit more downtimey already versus the others. So maybe we'll start off, Septimus, with what you're looking to research in the libraries of the academy.
The libraries of the academy, going off of, I know I kind of did this last time we were in town, about Eyeless.
You got it.
Just peering more into him, just like briefly, just because I do have some books and I kind of read a bit about it. But then also looking up, I think I mentioned like sea elementals.
Yes.
Elementals that pertain into the domain of the ocean. If there are any recounts of patronesque activities.
Why would you want to be researching that?
Oh, to help a friend. I don't know.
No, you're a good friend.
Ooh, Jacquet?
There was something else too, but this may be too many things, so we could just leave it at that for now.
Well, let's start with those.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna be looking
I'm
up.
sorry.
You remembered it?
And then finally, that was what the effects of like inhabiting spirit within a mortal body. Like essentially having your own soul, and then like similar to how the events of like Billigress were,
Mhm.
where they like housed like a piece of a spirit.
Mm.
Like if there's been studies of like long-term effects or like
Of like
of
spiritual
like,
hosts.
or just like history on that sort of activity.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If that makes sense.
Absolutely. So, without going too much into detail at first, you do stride into the academy. You're easily led towards the libraries, where you don't necessarily talk to Sigil. He seems to be busy, but you are led around by some of the different automaton that control the sort of act as custodians, as well as a guide, one of the students, student workers, we'll say. So let's do this. So let's see. So you've declared your focus of your research. So let's do a check.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do history. That seems to make sense. We can do a history check at first for any information on these things, and then we can extrapolate from there.
Fair enough. Today, good. That's a 6.
A 6. Okay. So, so what I'll say is, with that 6, for at least I guess this first day of kind of downtime, which one of those 3 would you like most to learn something about?
Oof. I suppose Eyeless is what I would like to learn the most about. Followed by the Sea Elemental, followed by pretty much the order which I presented them.
Okay, so yeah, so the order you present is kind of your priority list. Okay, I will say, you can, if you wish, utilize the scribes there. Now that you're spending more time in the library, that's just general time, not sort of that dedicated time that Sigil gave you within the time chamber, and you're just kind of going about the library in its day-to-day orders. You're noticing that there's actually quite a few people who work there, and there are scribes there, there are assistants to Sigil, and they do offer services. It costs money, but you can pay for scribes to do some of this for you if you wish, and they will do sort of like they'll come to you with their findings to help advance your own research.
How much?
How much? So it is the kind of thing, basically, you can pay a certain amount to increase to give yourself a modifier. I
would say just without going any further, Septimus probably wouldn't pay for the aid, just because 1, he's trying to save money, and 2, this is not like a dire research, it's more just like out of curiosity.
Totally.
So it's kind of like whatever, like since there's free time, he's just going to expend it himself, and however it goes, it goes.
So for future reference, it is the kind of thing where you can spend silver to add bonus modifier to your roll. You can spend enough silver to get you up to a +6 to any roll you make for research, and it's let's see. Let me actually think about the cost of it, because the cost on the in Xanathar's is a little too high, I think, for what we're looking to do right here. But for now, we'll stick with your 6, and we'll stick with you are doing research specifically about Eyeless today, and you are just don't have enough attention to focus on all 3 today. You're just looking into Eyeless. And tell me a little bit more about what you're specifically looking for with Eyeless. Like, there's certainly, like I'll even say kind of with that 6, since it was on the lower side, like, they've, like, brought you several books, and it's like we need to narrow down what you're actually looking for informationally. And this is what's taking up a lot of the day for you.
I'd say as far as scale of power and
Scale of power.
I guess I can't even think of the damn word that I want to say. Behavioral tendencies.
Behavioral tendencies. Okay.
Alignment?
I guess that's a good way to put it too.
Yeah, I guess that can match well with behavioral tendencies,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, thank you. Abyss Clayton. Or Ether Clayton.
You're welcome.
I'm a ghost. High or low?
Low, baby.
Okay. All right, so I get to choose which one you learn about then. Otherwise, I was going to give you the choice. Because you're only going to get 1 piece of lore today, based on your 6. So you're going to get behavioral tendencies. And this is going to take, like, most of your day researching. Like, you're basically going to be here for the full, like, 8 hours of downtime for today. And you don't have to worry about meals or anything. They bring you, like, complimentary, like, it's very simple stuff, but complimentary food to just keep you studying.
Just fine.
But generally, what you find today is that Eyeless is a very old deity, sort of based on the research you found before. Eyeless was sort of an amalgamation of several elemental spirits, it seems, where over the years, what they thought was being contributed to localized spirits was a greater spirit that was affecting the overall region of Asia. But with that being said, there was a lot of confusion with that because of the difference of behavior. So a piece of Eyeless in the stony heath to the north had a very maybe benevolent attitude. Maybe the folk there thought that the winds were in their favor, the storms were keeping them safe. Versus you go to the south and they looked at Eyeless as or the spirit representing Eyeless as something that tore up trees, wrecked parts of the forest. Generally speaking, no one location had like a singular identity for Eyeless. It was destruction here, growth here, extremely chaotic. The only place that really kind of centralized Eyeless was Billowgrass, where people thought Eyeless was most at peace. You can almost look at it as Billowgrass was the eye of the storm that was Eyeless across the entirety of Asia, which is why the traditions began there, specifically honoring Eyeless.
Okay.
But that's all you really find out today.
Alrighty.
Amongst some other smaller things, like individual experiences with the deity that you can kind of draw on in the future. For like if we're playing and we're exploring an area that Eyeless is relevant, you can sort of thing where like, can I recall anything I read about experiences with the behavior of Eyeless? We might be able to get you a little more in the future.
Words for me.
Excellent. Let's move to our next friends. Let's see. Let's do. Let's get some Bruce and Fearn time in here as they're heading over to the Hive in Times.
Question.
Yes.
This is just the day.
Yeah,
Over?
like if
Crossing
there's
over? Okay.
Yeah, we're
We're not doing the whole week. We're just doing a day by day.
well for today's activities because they're very specific. If there's not much you guys want to do in here other than sign up for an ad or talk to them about printing things, Like, we don't have to do an extensive scene, but just for these starting things, I just wanted to do them all on day one, and then we'll get into just sort of the week maintenance. Since these are a little more, I guess it depends on what you're asking to do also.
Well, I don't know what we're asking to do yet, so let's go there and find out.
Yeah, so my thought was, well, Bruce would help out Fear and get him ready, and then just leave him to do his business. Get him set up, get him all the tools, and then, go do other important things. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you wanted to do research on stuff, right?
Yeah, and also repair Jequet's gun, and possibly make a couple more traps, and just do stuff at the Artificer Workshop.
Totally. So what is exactly that you want to accomplish at the Hive Times?
Well, I think first thing Fionn would do is pick up like a copy of the newspaper on his way to the Times and quickly skim through it and see if there's any mention of him or current events. He's looking for things specifically about Pajin or any of the events that he's been a part of. If his name is mentioned or somebody in the party, that would be something you definitely want to have prior knowledge to before talking to them.
Yeah.
But generally his plan is to go there.
That popular?
I mean, he doesn't know.
I like to think just right there is just Fear and sifting through the paper as Bruce is just sitting right next to him on a bench with a lollipop, saying exactly that. But go on.
You just got here.
Fearn's strategy is sort of an exchange of information. He wants to try and see what the newspaper knows. He knows that Governor Pajin's coming to town. He doesn't know if the newspaper is writing about it or not, but he wants to see if he can squirm his way into the paper for his exploits, what it takes from the paper in order to get an advert. If he can't get a full page spread about his things, he wants to know how much money it would take to advertise. And also, we previously discussed maybe making some business cards. So that might be something the newspaper company or the paper people can help me produce.
Okay, so if I'm getting this right, you want to see if you can solicit them to write a article about Iron and Mana. If not, then seeing if you could just pay for an ad in the next distribution, and then also seeing if you can either utilize them to make business cards, or if they can lead you to someone you can purchase business cards from.
Right.
Perfect. Excellent. And Bruce, you're really just getting him set up there, right? You're coming with him for the first initial encounter and then heading out.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. So we don't necessarily have to role play this all out. So in my mind, you read through the paper to start off with. One, yes, you don't find anything right now about you all in it. The main thing about Pajin, and especially because you're just reading a paper, I'm not going to make you roll to investigate the paper. You can read the headlines.
I'm not scrolling through it really.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the headlines. That's
exactly. And you do find that the only article you can find right now about Pajin is the ones that are just starting to get the word out that he's coming to town next week. It seems like this was a very abrupt visit, and the articles do seem to be hinting at there are some big announcements that seem to be possibly coming with his approach, and mentioning that there will be people arriving even before the week's end in preparation for his arrival. So his own staff, maybe protection, maybe security, will probably be arriving in Hyven throughout the week before his actual arrival. So you'll start to, you might translate that into you're going to start seeing his effect before he's even here over the next week. It does say in the article that he is specifically going to be here. Let's see. So it's the 26th of Septem. that he is specifically going to be here in the 3rd of the next month is the date.
Dang, there goes my my knowledge. But okay, great.
And were there other things you were looking for in the paper? Or was mostly to see if there's something about you all, and then to see if Podgen
Any information about Podgen? Our friend at the newspaper, what's his name? Starts with a K. Kellen. I saw him at the what do you call it? At Fight Night.
Otter business,
So
yeah.
yes, Otter business. So I think that I might want to ask him what he was up to there, but I if he's busy, it is what it is.
He wouldn't even be there when you get there. And if you ask about it, like literally the assistants there would say he's not coming in. Like he's off on like a beat basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then I'd just be like, give me your if there's a journalist in right now, let me speak to them. I want to tell them about a story that is recently coming to light, and then try and pitch my case.
and you're really you're pitching, like, are you pitching Iron and Mana's exploits, or are you pitching your own self at Fight Night? Like, what is your specific story you're pitching?
I think I would start off with probably talking about Jackie Touche and how his there was a big uproar that night last night about a new bard in town, and then go from there and just be like, well, not only is this bard fun to hang out with, but also his stories are true, and I can tell you all about them if you like.
Okay, and quick question before we continue with that. Bruce, I imagine you walked in with him and he started to ask about Kellen and whatnot. How long would you stay before heading out once he starts talking to the staff there?
Probably not till we leave. Bruce would just make sure that we're represented. So he'd be like, make not only Jackie Two Shoes, just make sure like you throw in a detail that
supporting
like
that way.
Jackie is also a part of Iron and Mana. Who are these people? So if you really like Jackie, you can confront him and find him at the Harley Quinn and Chalice and along with the rest of the group. But the rest of the group is not important. It's Jackie Two Shoes that you want to see and hire. And
just sort of this like Fionn is kind of driving the story, but then you're jumping in for clarifications, making sure that it's like Harley Quinn and Chalice. That's where you go, not Cask and Crow. And
no war
like
crimes were committed, not at all.
We are above board. It's all about Jackie.
Fionn would include details, and Bruce would be like, no, they don't need to know that. Screw that.
All right, so I'm gonna ask for a charisma check that can either be one of you with advantage or each of you alone.
I think based on the description, it would be Fionn with advantage.
Yeah, I agree. So you could do a persuasion roll, or you can do a performance roll, since you are kind of trying to jack up the story. So go ahead and go with whichever one you want to do.
Well, they're both -1, so let's see what we can do here.
Maybe I should have rolled.
All right, I got an 8.
An 8. Okay. Okay.
I feel like this makes sense. Fionn's very freaked out about the machinery in there, and they probably made him wait a long time. And he's a little jittery, and he just wants he's feeling a little uncomfortable when he's telling the story.
You had a little bit too much of the lobby coffee. Could I get one of you to roll a D100 though, and pick high or low?
Sure, I got it.
I pick high.
Okay.
95.
Yeah.
Oh,
Teamwork.
Nice. All right. So what that means is there are no complications that happen. You were within. If you had rolled 1 through 10, there would have been complications. All right. So, as you're kind of recounting all of this to this, probably junior reporter, actually, hold up. Where is my... All right, don't have it up right now, so I'll just say a reporter. I do actually have a breakdown of some of the staff there. It's just not up right now. But basically, this person is just sort of like slowly like writing things down as fast as they can, like listening to everything Fearn's saying, and then looking, and like even when you don't say anything, Bruce looking to you for clarification and confirmation. And they just kind of look at all, and they kind of like spin through the pages, kind of put their pen behind their ear, and then close their book and look up at the two of you and go, "We had someone at the Harlequin and Chalice, just in case we wanted to write a review of your friend here, Jackie.
Two shoes.
Touche or Two Shoes?
What do you
I'm
think you
going to
prefer?
kill you guys.
Touche or Two Shoes?
I think.
Which do you think you prefer?
I mean, our lead on the new performance had Touche as the name, but if it's Two Shoes, we want to get the report right. If
I
we
think,
report on it.
Yeah.
He doesn't
His
even
real-
have shoes.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I'll say
You.
It's touche. It's touche.
Touche. Okay,
yeah,
Jackie
probably
Touche. Okay. Yeah, I'll get in touch with our whoever's on the task for the entertainment pages, and I guess we'll see if any of this that you've given us is relevant. And yeah, I mean, this is very interesting stuff you two have got here. Please come back with anything else that you've got.
Talk to Oren, who works at the Harlequin and Chalice. He'll give you more details.
Oren. Okay.
To get in touch with us, yes.
Well, and also to get more information on.
Yeah, more information. Totally. Yep. He does not reopen his book as you give him a contact. This is really great. This is really great.
Yeah.
Also, sigil at the academy. Like, I'm not getting the bites.
Sigil.
All right. Fearn, I think we're done here.
You hear it in your brain.
Wait, hold on. Are you really? I go to the guy. He's like, "Are you really gonna write
I've got all the details right here. If it makes it to print, you can look for yourself. But
what do you mean if?
I
He
mean,
gets
exactly.
the decision.
Yeah,
We just have to propose it.
I mean, I don't. Get
Wait,
to make
he
the
gets
decision.
the decision.
Yeah,
Who gets the decision?
He decides if the story's good enough. We're just
Well, it's the
proposing-
entertainment editor, and ultimately the editor in chief. Yeah, not every story runs. We're not a pamphlet.
Take me
That
to
being
your
said,
chief. I
you
wanna
did
talk to
mention
him.
that you were interested, and he opens up a different ledger. You were interested in putting an ad out in the next distribution. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, just can we get a quote for that?
Yeah. What are you looking? Are you looking for a full page spread? You're looking for just a quarter
A
sheet?
column might do, but yeah, maybe a quarter sheet.
Quarter sheet. We do sell eighths. We do sell eighths if you're just looking for a brief column.
Yeah, it's my work.
Okay.
Hey, can you give us a quote for everything?
Well, for an eighth, for one distribution cycle, we're pretty affordable. We're looking at 10 silver.
When we say distribution cycle, do you mean just for the page of the week, or?
Oh, we mean for 1 week, yeah.
Okay. All right. Might do that.
Yeah, I mean, distribution-wise, it's going to go throughout the city. We have particular pages. I mean, if you, we can cut you a deal too. If you're looking to do more than 1 week, we can give you the second week for a discount.
At what rate?
We'll be looking at 15 silver for 2 weeks.
All right. And then everything beyond that? Let's say 10
Beyond that,
weeks.
if we're looking at anything beyond, if you're doing bulk like that, we usually like to have a full kind of negotiation discussion. Because what we can do, just honor that that discount for the remaining 8 weeks, so long as you make the purchase up front. Then we'll promise the ads run for the 10 full weeks.
Now,
We'll have an early cancellation fee as well if you decide to go with that. It'll only cost you half of whatever weeks are remaining.
How about a full page? What's a full page?
A full page. Okay. Well, a full page. We do offer. There is a bit of a scaling discount there. So a full page will cost you. Let's see if you're. Well, depending on. Sometimes it depends on the week. Right now we're in a bit of a slow period, so you're looking at. We're doing that. You're looking at probably. 40 silver for a full page.
All right. That's for one distribution cycle too, right?
One distribution cycle.
All right. With this information, we'll probably talk with our group and make a decision from there. But
Certainly,
we'll contact
certainly.
you and.
Wait.
We're not making any decisions right now, Feared.
But we
And I
just
will
got
let you know
here.
that rate does change based on, changes in distribution. If our numbers start to increase, readership goes up. Could go up. If we're a little lower, though, it could also go down. Those are our current rates. If you ever need to inquire about new rates, we usually update them every month. You can send a word. They don't typically change too much, and we do hold to
The initial
discounts.
quote, I hope. Oh, okay, discounts.
Yes, so say you make your purchase for 10 weeks, like you said, and next month our readership changes. If the cost goes down, we will give you somewhat of a rebate, but we'll never charge you more. You purchase 10 weeks ahead of time, we'll never increase your rates based on viewership. I mean readership.
But-
It's not YouTube.
Perfect.
Question for Sean.
Yeah.
How long away is the other? You said it starts 2 weeks into the moon season. The other job that we had. Like, how
Yeah.
much time do we have until
You've
that?
got a month and you've got like 6 weeks, maybe 7, because it's the 25th or the 26th right now. So you've got like 6.5 weeks until that mission departs.
All right.
Feeling like whispers into your ear.
We're gonna. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna buy 1 week of a full page, and then every subsequent week after that, we're gonna do 1/8 of a page.
Oh, excellent. So yeah, and if you'd like, how many weeks would you like? I can give you certainly
Well,
we could. Yes.
Since we're buying a whole page, I imagine that this would be a significant discount going forward for that.
Absolutely. That's why I was inquiring. How many weeks are you thinking?
Right now, I'd probably say. Sean, how many weeks was that job for? Well, actually, I don't. Bruce doesn't know the detail. We're gonna start off with 4 weeks after that.
Okay, so we're looking at 5 total distribution cycles.
That's right.
Okay, all right. So if we have our 40 silver cost for the first one, and we can give you a discount for the subsequent 4.
Sure.
We're looking at, instead of usually charging you, that would normally be another 40 silver. I think we can easily give you a discount on that down to 20 silver if you are agreeable to that.
Sure.
60 silver
60
total
silver
cost.
total. There you go.
I give half of that to Bruce.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. I just ask that you have your copy sent to our office before our print schedule. So if this is going to start in the next week's cycle, then we ask you to get your copy to us by Sunday evening.
All right, we'll do. Thank you very much.
Do we want to do the business card thing too, or?
Oh, we'll worry about that on our own. We could just
All
go to
right.
Michael's or Jeff's down the street. You know, craft store.
Ye
Oh,
old
oh.
McHale's.
Oh, yes.
Mikhail's, yes.
Jeff's
Mikhail's.
is a great place. We work sometimes with the printers there if our systems are jammed.
All right, perfect. Yeah, we'll go down there.
That's Jeff
Great.
spelled G off.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we got 5 weeks of advertisement going. This is actually a very good week to be putting your full page in, since it's the week leading up to Cy Podgen's arrival.
Yeah, yeah.
I was thinking the
Start
same
off
thing,
strong
yeah.
and
And we'll see how much results come out of it, and we'll see if we want to reinvest.
Absolutely, I love it. All right, so that doesn't take up too much time, so you guys are free to kind of do what normal downtime stuff, shopping, whatever, throughout the rest of the week for you two. But before we get into that, I want to stop in with Jacquette and Sass, and then from there we'll just do the general week for everyone and what they want to do throughout the week. All right. So, Sass and Jacquette, the last thing that we would have interacted with you all is Jacquette saying, Sass, is there something you'd like to help me with? So, as the party splits up, where are the two of you heading?
I don't know, Jacquette, where are we going?
We're gonna head down to the docks. I'll explain on the way.
Ah. Great, I'd love to hear about it. What are we doing at the docks?
Quick point of clarification. At the end of last session, Jacquette had asked Bruce about making a cloak out of his trench coat. Would there have been time to do that?
Yeah. I would say yeah. Yeah, I mean, he
Okay.
would have been able to do that in the morning before you all left. I'll say, like, when you guys all decided to go about this, it wasn't like you left immediately. You could have done some downtime stuff beforehand. So if Bruce would like to have augmented your trench coat in a way that I
be a cloak of elven kind. Here you go.
Yeah. Excuse me, it's gonna be a trench coat of elven kind.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, very cool.
I'm editing it right now.
So yes, you definitely can have the trench coat of elven kind prepared for this side hustle.
Okay, cool. So he's got that on. Or actually, he's gonna keep it like kind of stowed. As he goes, okay, we're gonna head down to the dock now, and I need you to keep up with me, okay? Because this isn't exactly party sanctioned operation.
Are we gonna get in trouble?
No, of course not. But I just need an extra pair of eyes, and you're the only one here who knows how to be conspicuous when you choose to be. So please choose to be inconspicuous.
I was gonna say, am I gonna be a distraction for you?
No.
Happy to do it, but I
No,
need a little more information.
No. The lack of that. I was hoping you could use that whole disappearing act you like to pull.
All right.
So here's the deal. When we get down there, I'm going to disguise myself as that harbor official, not Winifred. Do you remember when we first came in off the boat? There was that plain-looking lad.
Right. Yes.
Actually, I forgot to look up the name if I actually put it down.
I might have written it down, but yes, I remember who you're talking about.
I'm going
I have
to
a piece of paper somewhere in this office that has this boy's name on it.
Wait, who are we talking about?
He's the very first, like one of Winifred's workers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't have his name.
I only have
I'll
the
keep looking.
fisherman's.
He asked for a tip, which I denied. That's good to know. But so I'll disguise myself as that man, and I need to check in with someone about a shipment. Now, what I need you to do is, while being invisible, keep eyes on this guy. He's gonna be a half-elf. I'm gonna ask him some questions, and then I'm gonna leave. And I need you to find out what he does afterwards.
All right.
If he goes somewhere and is looking suspicious, follow him. If he's not really looking suspicious, then he's probably just doing his job. But I suspect he's going to be suspicious looking.
Right. Sorry, I heard some seawater in my ears. What was the first part? The first part of who's the person I'm watching? This half elf.
He's a half elf, dock worker. I'm going to ask him some questions.
Got it.
And
Why this person in particular?
Because that's what I have to do. Remember,
that's a very
let's not ask
unsatisfying
questions.
answer. That's an unsatisfying answer. If I'm going to work with you, I need to be a little more informed. What's the purpose? Jackie.
I don't want to tell you too much.
Why?
Because given our track record, all of ours, things don't always go according to plan. So the less you know now, the better. Once we've stepped past this, I'll give you more information. How's that?
Fine. So let me just say this back to you to make sure I understood.
Perfect.
Eyes on
Yes.
eyes on the half elf.
Yes.
If he looks suspicious after your interaction, follow him and see what's going on.
Yep.
If he doesn't look suspicious, just report what he's doing, even if it's eating a fucking sandwich.
Yeah, no, I mean, keep eyes on him for a little bit. I'll walk off and then probably, come back, not disguised anymore, just to see, and then hopefully you'll see me, and then you'll come talk to me.
Right. Where do you want to meet? In case I do have to follow him.
If you do, let's meet back by Winifred's office. Yeah? Just up the street from it. There's that little overlook. There's that fishmonger. I forget their name, but they sell a mean carp.
Right. One final question. You're not setting me up, are you?
Jacquet pauses for a moment. No, I don't think so.
You hesitated?
I
You don't think so? What kind of answer is that?
Look, I'm exploring some other options. The party work, Iron and Mana, there's a lot going on there, of course, right? But, guys need to have his fingers in multiple pies if he wants it to taste every flavor.
That's disgusting.
Not my saying, but fair point.
All right. I don't know why. I think you're a fucking asshole, but I trust you.
Yeah, at the set, when you say I trust you, he kind of motions yeah, and he's like, yeah, I don't know why you do that either. And then he starts walking off.
You don't trust me? That's where you say, I trust you too, Saskia.
You're here, aren't you? I asked for your help. That means something.
That's fair. Why can't you just say it? Just say the words, I trust you, Saskia. We're a good team. We're a team. We work well together.
Totally deadpan. I trust you, Saskia. We're a great team. We work so well together.
Clap you on the shoulder. See, that wasn't so hard. Let's go do some crime.
Luckily, my passive deception is higher than your insight, so you had no idea he was lying.
I love it. All right, so Sass, you're going to be turning invisible.
Yep.
In order to trail behind and watch the man as Jacquet disguises themselves as the dock, the dock official.
The dock official.
The dock official. The dock official to talk to the dock worker he's targeting.
Yes. Correct.
All right. So the first thing I'm going to ask for is Jacquet. I'm going to ask for a, because I'm assuming you guys can just dip into an alleyway, make your changes, and head out to the docks.
Yep.
The first thing I will look for is some sort of investigation or perception check to find this dock worker, Jacquet.
All right, we're gonna perceive.
I'm gonna wait for
you know
Jacquet's,
the general area of Seaside, Portside that he.
Does he though? Does he?
What?
Not with that roll.
6 from me. A 6.
Okay.
A 6.
So, Jacquet, I will ask for a D100 roll from you.
Oh boy.
High or low, by the way. Oh, did you already see
I was gonna say hi.
Okay.
Because I always say hi.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's a 1.
Okay.
What a
roll
way
me.
to start.
Roll me a d8.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
5.
You watch yourself get killed.
What'd you say, Alex?
I said you watch yourself get killed.
Oh no. No.
From our first D&D campaign.
Okay. So you are spending a lot of time. I'm gonna say you still do spot this guy, but you are and Sass, you are kind of like following, avoiding people so they don't walk into you. And you're like sitting there, like if you had a watch, you'd be like, come on.
I'm running out of time.
As you're getting to like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
And it's around the 40-minute time, Jacquette, that you do see who you're looking for. And he's not too far away. He's just one or two piers over from where you've been looking. And it's at that exact moment that someone comes walking right up to you and pats you on the shoulder and turns you around and goes, buddy, what are you doing here?
Hey, man. You know, working.
It's your day off.
It was supposed to be my day off, but you know, old Winifred fucking calls me in.
We've got plenty of workers here. It's me and Steven got the whole dock covered.
Yeah, well, I don't know why, but Winifred wanted me in here. I don't know if there's something special I'm supposed to do later. I mean, I don't even have anything to do. She just put me out on the docks.
Roll me a deception check.
19.
Nice. There it is.
All right, 1 second. Let me just roll this challenge here. Okay. So you see the and this is just like a very typical slightly overweight human with mutton chops that connect at the mustache, very rosy nose.
Is it Gibbs?
No, his hair is orange,
right.
bright orange. And he's clearly very into the job though. Like he has the full uniform. The buttons are fully buttoned up. There's nothing unbuttoned. It's all tightly holding him in. As you can see, he's also clearly sweating bullets. Throughout the conversation, he just starts to dab his forehead constantly, and as you are saying nah, Winnie pulled me in today, no, I'm supposed to be here, you see he just sort of takes out a canteen and takes a long drink of water. He's just oh, well, the heat today must be getting to me. Oh, well, if you're here today, well, I guess I'll go ask Winnie for a break. All right, well, get back to work.
Yeah, you got it, man.
As you see, he walks right past you, kind of spinning a pocket watch that he's looking at now, excitedly, thinking about maybe having the day off early. But you do avoid any trouble from one of the other dock officials recognizing you as whoever this man is that you're imitating.
All right, cool. So Jacquette is going to almost make a beeline towards, because he's, he also only has an hour on his spell. So he's like, shit.
I'll hiss in your ear or in your direction. I've only got 15 minutes left. Get to move on.
Jesus, fuck. Yeah, I know. Me too, okay? Calm down. I know what's at stake here. And he's going to... Excuse me. Move up to the half-elf.
Absolutely.
Whose name I'm scrolling to find.
Matthias.
All right, cool. So he's gonna come up to Matthias and go hey Matthias,
And you see, when you approach Matthias, like, first of all, just a quick visual on him. He is, we all have an image of elves and half-elves in our minds as being very beautiful, in, like, very, like, angelic.
Thank
The way
you.
elves are always seen as. I said we have an
Thank
image in our
you.
mind. Sass, I said. But this guy is just like, you know, he's got this, you know, the typical pointed ears of a half elf, but he's got like really dark 5 o'clock shadow and a really strong jaw, completely bald shaved head. You can tell he does have kind of like the silver platinum hair of a half elf, similar to Sass's, except his head is completely shaved and you can tell from the stubble that it is like a shaved because he is balded significantly to the point when it's better to shave it. The 5 o'clock shadow is kind of this gray, darker silver that is coming in as very dark, very, very, very sunburnt all over, wearing a sleeveless shirt, very, very strong, clearly someone who hauls goods all day, with tattoos all over his arms of sea motifs, as he's just finishing hauling up a big shark from a boat, a fishing vessel on the wharf, as he kind of is like wiping the shark guts off of his hands as Jacquet, you come striding up to him. And he just sort of stares back at you and like closes his eyes, or squints his eyes at you, kind of like he doesn't fully recognize the voice, but then he kind of sees the face and he goes, oh, hey, yeah, what are you looking for, man?
Matthias, sorry to bother you. I just got a problem here. And he's gonna kind of like show him his clipboard that just has like numbers and values on it. It looks proper, but like because it's part of his disguised self.
Yeah.
Upon looking at it, it would just be mostly gibberish. So he just kind of like points really quickly with like a charcoal pen, and then charcoal like stylus, and then pulls it back. He goes, last shipment of the and then gestures to the shark was a little short by 1. I've got a customer complaining, and, you know, Winifred doesn't like it when shipments come up short.
Give me an intimidation check.
That's gonna be a natural 20.
Ooh!
For 24.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, that'll blow the 19 DC out of the water. As you say this, and it's like particularly at the sharpness of your words, and the focus on each of those, you know, short. It's like every time you do that, like you can see, like, you know, you can see there's a little bit of a like the most minute panic in his eyes, where he's starting to like kind of look down at the shark that he just helped haul in, continuously washing the blood and guts off his arms while doing it. And you can see, Jacquet, no insight check needed. You've been in these situations enough. Like, you can see the eyes of a man searching for all of his exits, to know where all of his exits are, as you say this to him. And he goes, yeah, man, oh, you know what? I could look that. I could look into that. Special for winning. As far as I know, the last books were straight.
Nope.
And now he's not wiping his hands anymore. He's actually just scratching his arm, like nervously. Ooh.
Look, Matthias. Can I call you Matthias? Sorry.
It's Matthias.
Matthias, excuse me. I don't know how much they paid you. I don't know why you thought you could get away with this. But you can't. So just give it to me straight. Where's the shark? And, you know, accentuates the shark. And where can I find it? And why are you going around crossing lions?
Hey,
Hey, tell me the fucking truth. And at this point, Jacquette's getting like pretty close to him, not dangerously enough that like, he could do something to disrupt the disguise, but again, trying to push him.
And yeah, no roll necessary, and that 20 will carry over into this for the intimidation. Just fine, man, okay. Jeez. Every fucking moon. I didn't fucking know you were in on this stuff.
Everyone's in on it in Hyven. You should know that.
You should know that the fucking governor's coming around. Things are gonna change.
Yeah. They say things are gonna change with people like him up there, but it doesn't change for us.
I thought I could fence on myself.
That's rich. That's fucking rich. You thought you could go around their back and fence it yourself? To who?
I don't know, man. It's good goods. Anyone could just use for the illusory vellum. Anyone. I'll tell you where they are. Just say you found them. Say it was an accident. I wasn't trying anything. They got lost.
Yeah? What's it worth to you? And he holds out his hand.
You think I got silver if I was trying to hook?
You think I give a shit? Would you rather pay me some silver, or would you rather someone comes kill you in your sleep or break your legs?
Why don't you just huck one? Why don't you just take one of the vellum for yourself? You say this was all was left in the shipment when you found it.
Wow, you're actually an idiot. Where is it, Matthias? And who put these thoughts into your head that you could go around the system?
It's in a little safe part of the cove, northern side of the docks. I think there's a little area where you can kind of sneak behind the wharf and go down to the rocks, and it's not too dangerous. And there's a little area close to where the separation, the gap between the wharfs and just below the temple court. You'll see the marking on left there, and he'll draw he'll just grab a slip and draw a little marking. It's all there. I haven't fenced any of it. It's all there.
Okay.
It's just people talk. And anytime there's changes and people think there's going to be changes, there's we talk of getting out, leaving, or I don't know.
You don't know.
Governor's fucking working with those halcyon dogs. I'm not looking to get press gang to do an expedition north.
Yeah, well, if you'd smart, you wouldn't be looking to die either. And fucking with the wrong people in Hyven gets you dead quick. So last time, who's been putting these thoughts into your head? Because I know you, man. You ain't smart enough to think of this of yourself.
Man, I can
what? You can fuck everything up? That's what you can do?
It's just some of the dock workers been talking. Just been talking.
Good to know. If you're ever talking back to them, let them know. It ain't fucking worth it.
Yeah, I can see that now.
And then turning on his heel, Jacquet just walks away without another word.
Sass, you see as Jacquet walks away, now that that Jacquet's walking away, the guy, like, that sheepishness you would have seen on his face talking to him, suddenly you just see him be like, just kind of like a flipping off Jacquet as he's walking away. But if you watch him, he is watching Jacquet, though.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
just
I'm not
trying
gonna take my eyes off of
to
him.
eye where Jacquet is going.
Okay.
Jacquet, where
Jacquet.
are you going?
Jacquet is going to stop at the first boat he sees that has either recently docked or like coming in to look like he's doing his job. Sweating a little bit because I think he has like maybe 10 to 5 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, I'd say yeah.
Yeah, I'm sweating too.
you each have 10 minutes on your clock. So as you kind of go to this boat and start to kind of like do like a half inspection of it, like you can see like they're just docking, so they're not even looking to talk to you yet. They're getting themselves tied off and everything, so it's kind of a perfect situation to kind of chill for a few seconds, a few minutes even, as you see they are getting themselves situated before someone might come try to talk to you. Sass, as you're watching this guy, he is looking at Jacquet and then kind of looking around the ship that he has been hauling sharks off of. And you see he immediately goes and talks to someone else.
I like to
Another
get
person there.
closer and eavesdrop.
Okay, give me a stealth check, obviously with advantage, and then give me a
Thank God.
perception check.
There we go. All right. Stealth is 23.
Okay.
And then you said perception?
Yeah, I'll give you advantage on the perception because you did so
Thank
well in your
God.
stealth. You can get close enough to really hear.
It's better. 18.
18. Okay. So you hear Matthias is talking to this older, very, very like sun-beaten and wind-weathered faced woman who seems to be the captain of whatever vessel that has bringing these sharks in. She has these. She's missing one of her arms. You can see the sleeve has been cut and folded over, and the other arm is kind of just like holding on to a part of the rigging of the ship that's been bringing the sharks in, as she is just sort of staring at him as he's saying these things. She's not really responding. As you can see, she does have kind of this one old milky eye, and the other one is dark beady eye, and her skin is like incredibly red from the sun, and she like almost like her skin is like the wrinkles are so deep that it looks like it all cracks around her mouth, as she's just listening, as he is just saying, the daily roans are onto us. That guy over there, you see him? You know, I thought he was just a fucking pushover before today, but he came in hot. He knows where the goods are. He's going to get them at some point. You gotta let me go for the day. I gotta stop there. I gotta get there before him. And she's staring off towards you, Jacquet. Give me a perception check, Jacquet. Because are you kind of avoiding their gaze or peeking over every now and then?
No, Jacquet is trying to appear as natural as possible.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to clarify,
Yeah, he's here. Maybe, like, I got 15 passive perception if I, have that feeling of eyes on my back. But otherwise, he's not going to try to make himself known.
Yeah, I'll say with a 15 passive, you don't necessarily get specifically notice, like the woman looking at you, but you do kind of peek over your shoulder at one point and see him talking to that woman. And you might, in your heart, be like, just hoping that Sass is in the right spot. But you do notice that he is not back to work.
Right. Which is kind of what I hoped. So it all works out.
Yeah. So Sass, you hear them talking about this right now, and you see the woman staring off at Jacquet. And she takes that her left hand, because she's missing her right arm. She takes her left hand off the rigging and kind of steps onto the wharf. The heavy thud of her boots, her salt-caked boots, as she kind of takes a few steps closer towards the end of the wharf, where Jacques is a couple piers down, and she's just sort of she's not said a single word, but then she turns back to him, Matthias, and she just shakes her head no to him. And you see he's very nervous at that point. He comes walking over to him. He's gonna get the fucking vellum. We're gonna have any gold from this. Silver. We said we could get gold for this. And we were gonna fucking leave. She just shakes her head at him again, and then nods her head to the boat to get back to work. And he seems even more frustrated at this.
Does she, like... Does it seem like... Does it seem like she doesn't want to talk here and is trying to... maybe, like, looking to have a conversation with him somewhere more private?
No, actually. I mean, it does definitely, like, generally her vibe is, like, I don't want to talk about this here, and also a little bit like, you idiot. But it seems more so that she's saying no to him, saying, you need to let me go get the stuff.
Yeah.
And then nodding for him to get back to work, basically, on the stuff they've got.
Okay.
So she's basically trying to cut him off from doing anything stupid, it seems.
Okay.
But he then looks at her, and you see he throws a bloodied rag down, and looks at her and just shakes his head frustratedly, and spits in the water and walks away, and himself just leaves, goes up the wharf.
Does it seem like he's heading towards the spot he was describing?
He might be. He seems to just be leaving right now. It could result in him heading up towards the wharf. Depends on if you want to continue following him.
How much time do I got left?
See, at this point, you got 5 minutes left.
I'll write out the 5 minutes, and then I'll go back to Jacques.
Okay, are you going to follow him during the 5 minutes and then slip away?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So give me a investigation check or a perception check.
Perception is better. Oh, that was almost a natural 20. 12.
Well, I gave him disadvantage on his roll because he's frustrated for his stealth roll. So you will be able to keep track of him for the 5 minutes. He also seemed to be like you can tell based on following him, like he was trying to blend in with the very busy port side, but he's just clearly like emotional right now and not in like raging a little bit. And there's a point when you definitely kind of can like keep up with him when he just at one point just like literally like kicks rocks and like leans against a post of the wharf and just like you can see he physically calms himself down.
Yeah.
And this is around the end of your 5 minutes. As you can see, he's looking north. And he's looking back towards the wharf he left. The man is clearly having second thoughts and unsure if he should be going to where he shouldn't be going, which is the goods.
Mm-hmm.
So he's definitely he was heading in the direction of the goods. But you
got it.
The last moments of your invisibility is when you catch him having second thoughts.
Okay. All right. As the invisibility is running out, then I'll clock that and go back and meet Jacques by Winifred's.
Okay, two of you meet up.
Any chance that ship finally like paid their fee and Jacques made like
let's just do a roll for it.
That's fair.
Go ahead and give me a deception check.
19. I swear, since I've gotten Silver Tongue as a feature, I more often than not roll under a 10 than above. It's like, it knows.
So, Jacques, would you push them? Like, if they were no. Okay. So then what I'll say is...
he's just trying to make some quick, easy silver while he's chilling on the docks.
Yeah, so they start arguing with you about the fee, and I imagine that's when
and Jacques goes, Fine. Fine. Let's go talk to Winifred, and we'll see what she has to say about this. And as he walks off towards her office.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So the two of you do find your way to meet back up.
What the fuck was that all about? You riled him up.
Yeah. Why do you think I did that? To rile him up.
But why? What's the fucking point? Who are the De Leon brothers?
Who said that name?
He did. He was talking to the captain of the ship.
Oh, so much for other dock workers. So the whole fucking ship's in on it. Sean, would I have clocked the name of that ship?
Yes, it would give me a moment to come up with the name of that ship.
That's no worries. So the whole fucking ship's in on it, huh? From captain to poop deck.
I guess so. He asked the captain if he said that she had to let him go so we could get there before you did, so we could get to the goods. And I followed him until my invisibility was going to wear off, and it looks like he was going that way, but then he stopped. So I don't know if you want to head there now and get there before he does. I don't know. What the fuck is the point of all of this? Are you working for somebody?
You see Jacques is just playing with his dice.
Nice.
The nice ones as he goes, I dropped one. Uh-oh. Can't do that. They're valuable and magical. Don't tell him. Anyways, so he's just like playing with the dice, looking at them as he then grips them and goes, like I said, I'm trying out other avenues of employment.
Is there any reason you're not telling the rest of the party? Is there any
Doesn't
reason
concern them?
But why does it concern me? What if I tell them?
If you want to tell them, be my guest, Saskia. I don't really care either way because it doesn't concern them. I needed help here. And just like I thought, you helped me exactly as I needed you to. Don't worry, I'll give you a cut of the proceeds.
You're welcome. I feel used. Very.
Oh, you should. I used you 100%. But I think I made it very clear that I was going to use you, had every intention of using you, and then followed through on that. So if nothing, I am a tabaxi of my word.
Right.
Do you disagree?
No.
Okay, fantastic. I'm glad we're on the same page.
It just doesn't feel... I don't know. It doesn't feel... I don't know. I don't know how I feel right now. I'm very confused. I feel like I
What?
I aided in a some sort of crime.
No. What we did wasn't a crime. What they are doing is a crime.
All
You
right.
know how the world works. You know, there's good people and bad people. There are
Aye.
lawful people and there are chaotic people. I work for the law, just not the good law.
Okay. Do you need anything else?
No, I think that's all. Thank you so much for your assistance, and actually, I'll pay you up front. And he's going to procure a gold and give it to her. And say, I always treat my friends right, but my colleagues even better. I look forward to working with you again in the future on non-party business. And he gives her a little
Working
wink.
me? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I heard that slip.
Oh, you did? I want to say that was intentional.
It worked so beautifully.
And not just someone who can't speak very well.
And you're welcome, I guess.
Well, I have to go see about a package on a wharf.
Do you want to back up? Do you
No.
want me to go with you?
Appreciate the offer, Saskia, but I think I have it from here. Toodaloo!
And he walks off.
I go invisible again and I follow him.
Okay. I can't speak. Jacquette. The ship was called the Aboleth.
Oh,
that's a
hell
cool
yeah.
name.
And Jacquette, would you be now that you're kind of out of sight? Would you head towards that location to retrieve what you need to?
So I just want to clarify for my mind of the map.
Yeah.
Temple District. Where is that precisely in comparison
So
to
I think I haven't
harbor?
actually let you all know where that is. So basically, if you're looking at the map,
Yes.
which I don't have up right now, but if you're looking at the map, never mind, I got it. So you can see how there's the right-hand docks that go down. They are kind of mainly a shipbuilding area. If that little like edge that comes up against the cliffside, if there's basically what he's saying is around that area, there's an area to slip underneath the docks and then kind of follow the cove line, and that will get you to sort of a rocky coastline that is below the Temple District, which where it says in there, which is not a thing that matters, where it says
Right.
rock there,
Yeah.
is basically where the Temple Core is.
Okay. So Jacquette is actually going to first head up to the Lighthouse District,
Okay.
over by Beacon Street, to find just an abandoned building.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to take out a bag that he has, a bag of it's a disguise kit, and he's going to disguise himself as LaRue, put on the trench coat, leaving his fancy stuff behind here. And so before he goes in, he is going to look around and make sure no one is watching before he heads in.
Sass, give me a stealth check. Since you're invisible with advantage. Jacquette, what's your passive perception?
15.
This is for the walk there, but when you're actually at the house, you can give me an active perception check.
16 for stealth.
Okay.
I only got an 11 once I got to the house.
Okay. So there may be a few times on the walk there that you turned your head back to look at the sound of a stone moving in the sidewalk, but generally you don't hear or see Sass, as she does follow you and is able to follow you to the point where you enter into one of these abandoned houses in a side street of the Lighthouse District. And Sass, you can follow him in, or you can peer into the window. You would have to kind of slip in when he closes the door, because this place does still have some structure to it.
Yeah.
And I imagine you pick one of the houses that still has a working door to help.
Yeah,
maintain.
it would be like mostly intact, but maybe like a roof has caved in, so no one would actually live there actively.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very, very curious as to what the fuck this is all about, so I would follow him in.
Okay, so that I'm going to ask for a let's say an acrobatics check, just to kind of slip in, and I'll roll a DC for this.
24.
Damn.
Okay, yeah, that'll do it. You're. I mean, at this point, Sass, you're practically proficient in slipping into doors behind people.
Excellent. Can that be canon? Can I write that down? Damn.
Practice.
And you can see. I mean, you've seen him do some of this before. It's
I
a
haven't
lot of
seen
it is
his LaRue
you've
disguise.
not seen the LaRue disguise. It's a lot of it's
No, I
new
have.
for that. I mean, you saw a little bit of him making his fur different, but this is a whole
Sure.
new character that he's
And you-
creating.
You would see he reveals, like he had it on his person the whole time, but you see Hastings' sword, and he switches it out. And he stores everything as best he can up the chimney. So basically he shoves it all up there, gets a piece of wood that's about the right size, and he wedges it in so it sits on top of this plank to keep his stuff safe.
Okay.
And then dusting himself off, he does a little practice. Okay, what was it? The name's LaRue. Was it a little dark deeper? The name's LaRue. Yeah. All right,
Trying so
that's it.
hard not to laugh in the corner. or wherever I'm watching from.
All right, if that little muck decides to show his face, and he does like a mock, like take out the hand crossbow. yeah. Or maybe a little bit of this. He flourishes the daggers. He's like, and then he goes to grab the scimitar and goes, I'm actually not proficient in that, so let's avoid it for now. As he leaves and heads to the drop site.
So, Sass, would you follow him?
The collar up, so that I have.
And are you going to be trying to slip into some crowds and stuff?
Yes.
All right, so Jacquette, give me a stealth check now.
So before
Mhm.
I follow, because I know where he's going because I heard the description of the drop site. I want to take his stuff out of the chimney.
Okay, do you wait for him to leave the building to do that?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm loving it. Jacquette, that basically it's just anything that's not a part of the LaRue disguise is in there.
Yep. Yeah, so that's his rapier, and like a lot of his like fancier clothes and like some of the shell necklace is in there. Most of his all of his rings and other jewelry is
Taking
in there.
it all of it, taking it all, leaving nothing.
Okay. And Jacquette, go ahead and give me that stealth check.
Yeah, so it's a 24.
24. And Sass, are you trying to catch up with him, or are you just heading towards where the location is?
I mean, I know that's where he's going, so like once I know that he's gone, I'll take the stuff. I'll be quick about it, but I'm not like trying to catch up because I'm just gonna meet him there.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, Jacquette, you head off to your destination. As you're heading there, everything's pretty normal. You're able with that 24 stealth to really remain unbothered. It's early enough in the day that the wharf is still busy with people, so no one's really eyeing you. When you get to the area that he talked about where you can slip underneath the piers, like this area is like pretty quiet. Like it's like a mostly storage, and you can hear some hammering and some other sounds of the shipbuilding area. But it's pretty low key. If you wanted to before slipping down, you could do a perception check.
Yeah. Mostly he's gonna make sure that what's his name didn't actually end up coming here. Yeah. 16.
16. Okay. You look around and it's dead quiet around. You don't see Matthias anywhere around the piers or heading in this direction. Sass is a little too far behind to be noticeable at this point, and you can slip down there. And as you're kind of walking, it's a little treacherous here, but fairly accessible. Like he picked this spot because no one really is gonna, unless they know what they're looking for, is not gonna make the effort to investigate this area. But it's still fairly accessible by foot. So you're moving through, and there's enough flatness that you can get by. The waves are coming up a little bit, and it is kind of splashing into you a little bit as you are sneaking along. I'll say Sass, as he's navigating those rocks, is when you get to this location, and can sneak down there. He's still ahead of you, of course, but he is takes him a while to navigate across these. So it'll take you a while too. But you basically are reached a point where you can see Jacquette once you sneak down there, probably 10, 15 minutes ahead of you along the cove.
Okay, that's fine.
Your invisibility is not completely out, but you are on the last 10 to 15 minutes. Just because the whole walk up to and the walk back and sneaking over here, it's the kind of thing that by the time you get to wherever he is going to be, he will no longer be invisible. And by the time he turns around to come back, if he does find what he's looking for, you will not be invisible.
Are there places that I could hide?
Oh, yeah, it's a rocky cove. There's plenty of rocks to hide behind.
All right, so I want to keep going and like I know I will feel the invisibility run out, but like I want to know what's going on. So I'm going to hide wherever I can, and when he turns around to come back, like I'll hide until he passes by, but I want to see his fucking reaction when he gets back to the house and all his shit's gone.
Okay. So if you're staying hidden, I need a stealth check.
With is this before or after invisibility drops?
So this is going to be, you're actually going to need to make 2 stealth checks. One when you're invisible and you're first hiding, and then one when he's coming back when you're no longer invisible. So give yourself your invisible one right now. You just have to beat the 15.
Well, that's fine. Got a 25.
Okay. On the way back, you'll make one not at advantage. Okay, so for now, Jacquet does not notice you as he's going over the cove. Jacquet is not difficult at all to find this. He gave you he was not lying about the symbol. You do find the area where he hid the goods that were inside that shark. You actually also find like a hastily like discarded shark corpse. Like he was not careful about, like, if someone was really looking hard around the coves, they'd eventually find this and know that someone had stolen some goods. But you find a little marking and you can kind of reach in, basically, to... I guess I'll let you know what it is. It is a marking, and there's clearly like a way to reach under the rock into a hidden compartment area. Not a compartment, but a cluster where you can hide something in the rocks.
Yeah, just gonna quickly give it a cursory glance, make sure there's no traps.
Give me an investigation check.
Smart.
12.
No traps.
All right, stick his hand in and grab the vellum. And whatever else might be in there. Like a magical sword. Laser gun.
Orb of destruction.
Jacquet, you take 5 piercing damage. As you do grip onto what appears to be it's not a trap, so to speak, in the sense of like there's like a tripwire or anything. It's more so that he wrapped what ostensibly is a barbed wire around the package that when you reach to grab it does cut you, but immediately you know that it's got a sharp wire on it that is its own sort of little
just making
thing.
a note that I'm gonna kill.
So there's one thing he did not share with you, was that there is a trap on it.
All right, cool. So, Jacquet disguised as LaRue. Fucking hell, stupid little shit. As he, like, wrings his hand, removes the barbed wire. How much vellum is here?
Yeah, so it is a wrapping of let me do a quick roll.
I mean, it's more like, can I disguise? Like, can I put this on myself? Do I have to like just carry it?
Oh,
in my
no,
arms?
it's certainly not like, it's not an amount that would be like, there's not a chest in there. Right. It's about 8 scrolls of vellum that are in there. So it'd be the kind of thing that you could get into a bag, or you could hold under your jacket if you were hiding it, or even simply just under your arm.
I think there's enough like pockets in the trench coat that I can just like slide them in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did I follow him close enough to see him take this, or did I where did I stop?
So I mean, it's up to you, because I had mentioned that you stopped like before actually traversing the cove. But if you wanted to go further, because by the time you got to where he is, you would no longer be invisible, because it takes 15 minutes to traverse the actual rocky part.
Mm-hmm.
So I assumed you were going to hide back at where that starts. You could have gone further if you wanted to.
No, I think I knew he was going there. I think I'll wait at the rocky part, and when I see him come back is when I'll pick up the follow again.
Okay. At this point, though, it's super simple, Jacques. You have it. Like, there's no other traps. You have what you need.
Quickly before he leaves, Jacquet is going to take a dagger and pry out one of the teeth of the shark.
Easy enough to do.
Okay, cool. Then he's gonna head back to the house.
Okay. you head back. Would you like to give me another stealth check? Sass,
Yeah.
I imagine you're just gonna head back. Like you're not even gonna track him. You're gonna head back, or do you want to track him?
Head back to the house where he was.
Yeah. Do you want to head back there, assuming he's gonna go there? I mean, I know meta
yeah.
knowledge we know, but like.
yeah. No, I know. Like I know he's like Sass's thinking is that he's gonna go back for all of his stuff. So once I saw him go to the drop site, I'll be like, great, I'm not invisible anymore. I'm gonna go hide and get a good spot.
Okay. We'll go over this. So wait, I'm sorry, say that again. You want to try going ahead of him?
To go to what you just said. Yeah, to the house.
So are you waiting for him to pass you by and go? Because before you said you were going to wait till he passed you by. Or do you want to leave before he comes so you get there ahead of him?
No, I will wait till he passes by and then I will go.
Okay, so you won't get there ahead of him. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. Just making sure. All good. So, Jacquette, give me a stealth check just to make sure no one who's not really for Sass, because she's going to be heading there on her own.
I didn't roll my other stealth.
Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, yeah, everyone stop for a moment. Sass, roll me a non-advantage stealth check to see if Jacquette notices you when he passes by. That's why I wanted to know if you left ahead of time.
Natural 20 for a 26.
Okay. So, Jacquette, you don't notice that she is hidden amongst the rocks as you pass by. So, Jacquette is going to get there first.
Mm-hmm.
Jacquette, you get to the house. Do you want to do
going to the house? He's going to Leonin Brothers. What,
okay.
Like, he's got something he has to go do.
No, sorry. I thought you had said you were heading back to the house.
I was kind of saying that.
Which is fair. So, what I'm going to say then is that Sass, you get back to the house and he is not there at all.
The fuck?
Yeah, he's not there.
What time is it?
It's like you probably did this shortly after talking to the guy, so we're looking at very early afternoon. It's like 1 o'clock.
I'm gonna wait. I want to see his reaction.
Okay, fair enough. We're not going to go into your De Leon scene here. We'll save that. We will. Let's see. You know what? It's almost 8:30. Let's do our break.
Sounds good.
So let's cut to a break here, folks. We'll be back in 5 or so minutes to jump into what happens next and what other downtime stuff they want to do after this. All right, folks, stick around. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everybody, to Adrift in Aldhalor. We are back from our break. Before our break, our friends were doing a little bit of research at the library of the Academy, as well as others going and talking to the Hyven Times to inquire about advertisement for Iron and Mana as an adventuring sort of guild or services. Now we have gone down a seedier route as Jacquette has investigated some sort of work that he's inquired or received from the De Leon brothers that he had met in a previous session. It's clandestine-like and away from the party's eyes. Now, Jacquette has acquired goods that were part of this deal and is bringing them back to their original intended destination. So, Jacquette, you are able to be quite stealthy as you're heading back and keeping these illusory vellums concealed as you would find your way into the alleyways or the lanes in the Alley of Crass as you hear that familiar sound of butchery as you head and see once more Andres de Leon, the Leonin black marketeer, out in his workshop or his butcher shop, butchering some sharks that came in this afternoon. It is different though. You came at night last time, so this time you see his brother Alberto is a little more actively moving about. As you can see, he is conducting business, it looks like. As you can see, there's a few folks meandering around, and he is talking to each of them.
All right. So Jacquette, as LaRue, is gonna walk up and, similar to last time, just lean on one of the timber frame supports, looking at Andreas.
And he would, it would be the same sort of thing where there's just sort of this quiet semi-stare off as you're approaching before he would slam the butcher's knife into the block, wipe the guts from his hands, make eye contact with you, and then dash his head over towards, the leather curtains that lead to the back area. And eventually you would get, as soon as you're down and in the private shop itself, he looks at you and he's kind of, again, sits on that stool, puts his hand on the glass case with some of the contraband in it, and then just sort of looks at you up and down and nods to you. Where did you find him?
LaRue opens his trench coat and 1, 2, 3, however many scrolls he just tosses down on the table kind of unceremoniously. And he goes, yeah, I found him. I found something else too.
And you see,
yeah,
you see as you do that, as you do about what you're about to do, he's just sort of counting up the scrolls, and then, there are only 8 of them, so he plops them down and he just taps his paw on them, and then turns to you and crosses his arms to listen as you start to say what you're about to say.
Pulls out the shark tooth and throws it on the table. And Jacquette goes, they say when a shark loses a tooth, new one comes right in. Doesn't matter how many. Could lose his whole damn jaw, and all the teeth come back. I think it's time you lose a jaw and grow a new one. Because you got some bad teeth in the business.
You see, he picks up the tooth, or rubs his thumb against the serrated part of it, and then just smiles at you and leans back as if to listen for more. I think that's where we'll cut from that scene. You spend some time with Mr. De Leon. Mr. De Leon, yes. Perhaps discuss further work, perhaps discuss some other things, perhaps discuss goods. But soon enough, you, as the sun's getting lower, head back to your safe house, where Sass, you have been waiting this whole time.
And I'm fucking starving. I'm waiting here all day.
So, Sass, while you're in there, do you do anything particular to hide, or are you just waiting for him as soon as he opens that door?
No, so I thought he would, I thought he was coming back right away, so when it was, it had been an hour, then 2, then 3, I think I would have just started, walking circles, just doing laps around, and then just lounging, and then when I notice that he's coming, and then hide. I don't want him to see me there.
So, this is a good question. Jacquette, would you be stealthing up to your safe house?
Yeah, I think so.
Give me a stealth check, Jacquette.
Yeah, I think I will. That's a 29.
Oh my god.
Remember, I just got an item that gives me advantage on a plus 10 stealth check.
So, Sass, what's your perception check here?
My was I supposed to do one?
I mean, if you were listening out for him, it sounded like you would be listening.
I would be. Yeah, well, I got a 14. There's no fucking way that beats a 29.
Yeah, so, Sass, I imagine you're, lounging on an old, decrepit couch that's in there, and just sort of, just kicking your feet, thinking, when's he gonna get here kind of thing. When, Jacquette, you You approach quietly, and could walk right in if you'd like.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he would check.
No, I mean,
he's
yeah.
just gonna open the door and walk in.
Can I?
Just...
Wait. If I hear him coming up to, if I hear the door opening, because I didn't hear him approaching, but if I hear the door opening, can I like dive out of sight?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna. It's less than 6 seconds. I'm not gonna let you roll a stealth check. You can dive, and it might look a little embarrassing.
I'm diving. I want
Okay.
to dive. Shit.
Or maybe the stealth check would have been successful if he couldn't hear you, but there's nothing that's stopping you. The sound of you diving
Alright,
behind
sorry.
this couch,
I'm
basically.
diving. I'm diving. I'm diving behind the couch.
So, Jacquette, you walk in and like as if you were like carrying groceries and turning around, you just hear this like flop and crash into detritus as Sass leaps behind the couch.
Did he see that it was me?
Yes.
Or did you just hear? Did he just hear?
No, he sees that it's you.
All right.
So like he's instinctively reaching back for his hand crossbow, as he notices, he goes, "Fucking by the! I swear, Saskia."
Ah, you heard me.
Oh,
Peeking up
yeah.
above the couch.
Me and probably everyone on the fucking block. What the fuck are you doing here?
Where the fuck have you been? I've been waiting for fucking hours.
I don't remember planning to meet you here.
No, you didn't. No, but I thought you were coming right back here after you went to the job. If you're
Why
gonna
did you follow me?
Because, Jacquette, if you're gonna do some fucking secret mission here away from the party, actually, let me start that over. If you're gonna be a part of Iron and Mana, you need to be a part of Iron and Mana and not to keep secrets from the party.
I'm sorry, I don't remember signing a fucking contract with you people, okay? Who says I have to tell you anything? As long as I show up
I'll
and
just
do
find
my
out.
job.
That's fine, I'll just follow
find out. You don't even know what I did.
No, I don't. I watched you go to the drop site. That's enough.
Okay.
What'd you do? What did you find there?
Shoved it up someone's ass. How's that? As
I
he's
don't
gonna start
believe you.
getting out of his stuff, and he's gonna go over to the chimney to get his other equipment.
And I'm walking to the door.
Saskia? He says, turning to her.
Hmm,
Where are my things?
I don't know.
Saskia.
I'll see ya. And I walk out the door.
He used feline agility, rushes right past her, and slams the door shut. He has a dagger in one hand. And he goes, "I'm sorry. Where the fuck is this coming from? I asked for your help, and now you're here doing what?"
I'm just trying to make sure that your intentions are pure.
Oh, my intentions are pure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna save us all some time.
Mm-hmm.
My intentions are on the success of the party. That's
Are
all
they?
that matters.
Are
Yes.
on the success of the party. You weren't even going to tell the party where you were going tonight. How is that in the best interest? And
You're a fucking moron.
The
I don't understand what's wrong with you. I
That's
can do
okay.
whatever I want. I'm an individual. My identity is not tied to Iron and Mana. Okay? I work with you. I am happy to. I think we have really good synergies. But I have my own life. I do my own things. No one knows everything about Jacques Touchard. Okay? The last time I trusted someone enough to tell them everything, it cost me everything. Do you think I wanted to leave my home? Do you think I wanted to leave everything I had back in Domuzerum? No, I had to leave. And then I got shot out of the fucking sky because of what you and Fjern did, okay? And you know what? I'm okay with that now. I'm okay because I have seen a new beginning for myself. I have seen a place where I can be me and make a name for me, by me. Okay?
I reach out a hand and lower the dagger that I'm sure you had.
I mean, it's still in his hand.
It's
but
just,
he's more
it's just you just
gesticulating
talking.
with it.
Yeah, just exactly. So I'll just lower it. Sounds like you've been wanting to say that for quite a while.
No, I specifically didn't want to say anything. Because...
Why? Why? Why
You're not
didn't you
my
want to say
fucking
anything?
therapist, okay? I don't need to have a session with you. I didn't want to say anything because last time I got fucked over when I told someone something, okay?
What happened? What happened? Just tell me
I
about
got
it.
fucked over.
How? How did you get fucked over? Tell me about it.
You haven't earned my trust, Saskia. After what
How?
you just did here, you think sneaking up on someone, following them around, stealing their things,
How
you
is
think
that
that's...
how is that any different than what you just did?
Because what I did wasn't against anyone in the party. My actions have no correlation with the party, okay? I
You see,
fully
Jacques,
regret asking you for help now. And in the future, will not ask for any of your help. Because I can't trust you.
you see, Jacques,
I did
this is what I can't stand about you. You're a fucking phony. You're fake. You go around saying that you're this, high and mighty person and you act like it, but you have this secret life. And you're trying to do your own things. Fucking flies. You're trying to do your own thing. And why do you even bother staying with us then? If you're just going to use us, why bother staying? Get the fuck out of here. Don't use us. We're not just here at your beck and call. We're not. If you bring us in on all of it, then maybe we'll help you. But we're not going to do it if you're going to keep us in the dark and do your own fucking thing.
All right,
Yeah.
fine. Like I said, I regret asking for your help. And you'll never hear about any of this again.
I'm not giving you your stuff back.
And then you're not leaving this building.
Well, guess we're at an impasse then. Is there a window?
They are boarded up. It does not look like this is a moment where Jacques is going to budge.
I will drop everything except the seashell necklace, and I want to try and conceal the fact that I'm keeping the seashell necklace.
Okay. Give me a sleight of hand check. And give me a perception check, Jacques, since I imagine you wouldn't not be watching her drop empty the bag.
It's a 15. Sleight of hand.
22.
So you spot her. It's like she's taking everything out of the bag, and like clearly like it's just in the bag, so you can see her try to almost like put something over the seashell necklace.
And now you're trying to steal from me. Really, Saskia? I'm sorry. You think you're so much better than me. But you are just like me.
Here you go. Have a good fucking night. I just drop it and... Can I go
And
now?
He stands aside, opens the door, and gestures for her to leave.
And I leave.
And Sass leaves, and Jacques, you can gather your things up. I imagine take some time here before heading back to where you need to go. As the...
Jacques does find a new house to go to
course.
stash his things.
Not a problem. New safe house. As Sass heads off into the streets, maybe back to the hostel, wherever, as the party ends this night and a new week starts with a bit of tension for at least two of the members, as I'll bring everyone back in to look to the week and what they would like to accomplish during this the 5 or so days up to a week of downtime that we have right now. So there is enough time to accomplish certain things here while you are all for the most part, hanging out, maybe perhaps in different places throughout the city. But now I will ask if there's anything folks would like to accomplish over the week that is just things you'd like to accomplish, not necessarily scenes that we're going to be playing out. Just research, investigating, any of the sort of downtime activities we've kind of talked about a little bit. So, Bruce, I know you had some things that you wanted to do particularly. Let's start with Bruce.
Sure.
And we'll just go through the party and see what folks want to do throughout the week.
I want to do a number of things. I mean, it's a whole week, so
Totally.
But the big things are use the artificer workshop to make traps, fix up Jacquet's gun, investigate the modules a little bit further for both the gun and the sword, and try to see if I can repurpose the modules or if the modules fit the gun that Fionn gave Bruce. Just over that overall, and then see if he can learn anything new. Make some traps, which I don't know yet what I want to make.
That's fine. I mean, we have your own, we have our own system there, so whatever makes sense for what the resources you have and the time, it's okay if you don't know right now, and just have that ready for the next session. Yeah.
Well, yeah. And so what I'm also going to say is during this time too, Bruce might take some time to look into different traps that he's not currently familiar with, and maybe explosives.
Of course, obviously.
Yeah. That's kind of it.
All right, so I think the kind of the biggest thing is the work at the artificing workshop that might need more rolling. The other stuff seems like it's more so taking the time to explore those things. So I particularly want you to give me a roll for researching into the weapons, the modular weapons.
I'm going to give myself advantage here, if that's all right.
Always, Bruce. It's always good. It's always okay for you to give yourself advantage. That's my favorite thing you can do.
I had a lollipop earlier, just to let you know.
Yeah. You had a lollipop. You're still feeling it. What flavor was it, buddy?
It was a watermelon.
There we go.
Pretty good.
Excellent.
I was gonna say I had some only bananas runts. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh.
Yeah. I was scarfing those down while my camera was off.
22.
22, nice, excellent. Okay, so a few things that you'll easily, with a 22, know. One, you are fully aware of the mechanisms of the sword. You can hand the sword to someone and teach them how to use it tomorrow, or by the end of the week. You know that the cartridges are a refined serum that goes into the blade. There is a trigger mechanism on the back of the hilt of the blade. It can be triggered with the thumb that will expend the cartridge, and whatever elemental magic or elemental damage that is associated with that can then be wreathed across the flame for 1 minute. So that's, for example, the arc lightning that the Dragonborn used would have been a cartridge they used, and then for that whole fight, they have lightning damage added to their weapon. Very much so, you could think of it as the Artificer's solution to an enchanted flame tongue blade, where it is just a mechanical means of creating a flame tongue blade or a lightning tongue blade utilizing artificed materials. You do begin the research into the actual cartridges themselves and what they're made of, how you can, maybe even potentially recreate them. It's very similar technology to the distillation of the water elemental into a gem-like source to create this effect. Although this seems more so that it is something suspended in a liquid that is then expended and is almost like for lack of a better way, lack of sophistication, shoots the serum all over the blade, it coats the edge of the blade, and then that kind of conducts the elemental energies onto it.
And creation of these, the liquid that's inside of these cartridges.
Definitely
Right.
something that would be possible. I think that part will require a little bit more research into exactly like how much it would cost, the materials involved. But I'll say with this week of research, you know for sure, with further downtime research, that you can figure out exactly how to make these and how much it would cost to make them.
Okay.
Furthermore, because this is, I think this is like the focused of this research here. You could, with careful time, reverse the module, remove the module from the sword, and find a way to make it compatible with the gun, so that you could
Okay.
have a gun that would have the same thing, where you would imbue the attack made with it, with the pistol round would be infused with the elemental magic as well.
Okay, yeah, Bruce would definitely try to do that after fixing up the gun.
So that's the next thing I'll ask for, is a tool check to fix the gun and to look into what the gun's capabilities are once fixed.
Okay. Oh, I can do this again. That's a 30. Because I got expertise with my tools now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oof, artificers, killer. So it's almost like the research into the sword is what is allowing you to fix the gun. Like, you've done
Okay.
so well at reverse
Yeah.
engineering some of the aspects of the sword, and like obviously like you can pull Septimus in occasionally on this stuff, and you guys can kind of like share notes a little bit, or at the very least keep Septimus aware of kind of the interesting artificing
Oh,
aspects
he would
of
definitely
this.
keep-
There are some things that I wanted to do on my own for the week of downtime, but I would probably stop in one of the days to like perchance help him.
Yeah,
if it's
absolutely.
possible, or just assist him whatever way I can.
Yeah, Bruce would take notes of everything that he's doing too, and like sketches, and definitely share that eventually. Sorry.
Absolutely. 100%. I imagine it's like halfway through the week that Septimus takes a break from his own thing to come check in with you, Bruce, to look into anything further. And you can start looking at it together, and you're kind of like, oh, look here, this is how, this module. And both of you would discover together, I'll say, with no rolls necessary, generally, maybe you don't know 100% of the details, but generally the, like, what is the artificing technology here? And you learn that there is this, there are these, and some part of this is inspired by Bruce's memory of the Manifold Armament advertisement, but essentially you learn that these weapons are not magical at all. They are artifice items that are meant to create an effect, sometimes similar to magical enchantments, but sometimes also just a mechanical improvement. So, for example, you learn, although it's broken now and not usable, the gun did have a module that was basically giving him the ability to reload quicker. That's why he was able to get multi-attacks off when he used the gun, is that there was a module on it that gave him that benefit. Similar to some that you've heard about before, Bruce, with that you've even like thought about giving to Jacquette, with the ways that you can make crossbows more improved through similar features. This is basically a more efficient way to do that. And the way that you can think of it as efficiency mechanical wise is that it doesn't take up one of your slots for a artifice item. It's just something that goes directly onto the item. These different modules have power levels, it looks like. As the two of you are looking at the gun, you can see that it seems to have one that is has more capacity than the other one. That is, and it has 2, whereas the sword has 1.
Okay.
And essentially,
Cool.
you've repaired the gun to the point where it can be used. You need to purchase ammo for it, but it can be used, and it has 2 of these modules on it that have no manifold on it right now. So basically, you could create eventually, or purchase, or find a module that could potentially fit into the 2 modules on the gun.
Okay. Yeah, I imagine that won't be able to accomplish that this week, but I will definitely keep that in my back pocket to do eventually.
Absolutely.
And then whatever trap, and I'll make eventually.
Yeah, I'll say that
Yeah.
that's like the front end and middle of the week is all this research, and then you can finish out the week, making whatever traps that you need to make before whatever the next adventure is.
Yeah, and maybe after Fearon goes to the crafts or Jeff's.
Jeff's.
Yeah, Jeff's craft store. He'll make his bird a little bit nicer. A little lolly rock.
Oh, lolly rock.
I will say at the end of the week for Bruce's stuff, Fearon would request that he buys him a new greatsword if he doesn't get the greatsword back.
Yeah, sure.
Sick.
We'll do that.
All right.
If
how
he
much
does-
does that cost?
Oh, if you didn't give him the greatsword back, yeah. I mean, a
That's
greatsword.
literally the only weapon I have. Oh wait, no, I have a lumberjack axe, but that's it.
Yeah, a greatsword costs 50 silver. But anyway, so yes, so you can finish out the week that way.
Okay.
So let's just go to Septimus now, and we'll go to Fearon, and then we'll hop back to the assassin and talk about to see what they're doing this week too. So Septimus, I imagine you're doing more research, but
No, actually not. After the first day of researching and failing for like what feels like the third time in a row, Septimus just be like, kind of like grabbing his head, like that moment where you're just like in a block of like studying. It's like, I'm not retaining anything. Nothing is getting done right now. I feel like I just need to do something mundane to kind of just like refresh the brain. So he would, because also he will try to make a little bit of coin, would attempt to go to Autobahns and see if he could just be just like a day labor for him, doing whatever he wants around the forge to make a couple extra coins.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. So Audubon knows you, and you've had good recommendations to him, so he's pretty quick to like allow you to be a day laborer. And you even like find like as you're doing this, like he's like very much so like every now and then, depending on how well you do, like he'll come and be like, you could always become an apprentice and come here full time, kind of thing. So what we'll have you do, is you'll make a check using smith tools, and that can be, I'll say no, we'll just do it be a smith tools check.
Is it just a D20 with your proficiency, right?
And you can do your strength, or you can do. Oh wait, sorry, I'm reading this wrong. So for work that you do, depending on the work, it's either you do a strength athletics check, or you could use your intelligence modifier using a set of tools. So I would allow you to use a smith tools with your intelligence modifier.
Intelligence modifier. Wait, no. Do I get proficiency bonus because I'm proficient?
Yes, the proficiency comes from the smith tools. Yeah.
Okay, so then it'd be +7 to a D12. Yeah, I'm gonna use intelligence for sure.
Perfect.
I'm just gonna roll an Arcana check because that
It's
has
equivalent.
+7.
Yeah. Buddy, what'd you get?
Oh God almighty!
You want a lollipop, bud? You want a lollipop?
Crit fail.
Ugh.
Okay. So it doesn't mean you don't make any money. It just means after the first day, Autobahn, instead of what I said before, where he comes up to you and says, is he goes, and he's still very nice to you. He still like thinks highly of you based on your reputation through Torcal. But he basically is just sort of like, all right, it's it's your first time doing day rate work here. Like, why don't we have you work on these horseshoes over here? And just do your best. Your
What did Sal roll?
Sal would not be there. Yeah.
Sal's
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
it's
you
fine.
get.
I'm rusty. It's been a while since I really got into the forge, so that's what it is.
You do make money. You do make some money. So based on that roll, that means that you did make the. Let me actually double check. It's the poor. Yeah, poor. So you make the equivalent of the poor lifestyle income for the week, which is in standard D&D is 2 silver pieces. So if I'm thinking my silver system, I did have a translation for this that I'm slipping my mind what exactly that would come to. You'll make some money. It's not gonna be a lot of money, but you'll make some money, and let me just
think about it.
Clarify the math on that and how that would work after the sesh. But you will make a little bit of money.
But then following that, Septimus would take whatever earnings it is and go clothes shopping.
Oh yeah.
To find an appropriate large hood, cloak, complete covered setup where he can dress Sal, where if he wanted to take him through town, he would not be immediately imposing. It looked like maybe it was just like a dragonborn with like a hood, or like a bigger race is with something, and also like something to cover his face so nobody can see it.
Yeah, I'll say absolutely. With those earnings, you would be able to get some kind of covering. It's not necessarily going to be the highest quality, but it doesn't need to be. You're just using it to conceal Sal. So you could definitely be able to acquire some clothes for him. Perfect, absolutely. So I love that. Yeah, you find like a big heavy trench coat that can be closed with like kind of like almost like a double-breasted button system, and it comes with a hood that you can put over, and you can also find yourself either one of two things. You can either purchase just a regular face covering to wrap his face up, or you can purchase a straight up mask for him of some kind.
I feel like I was thinking a mask, but I feel like that might draw too much attention, so I was thinking just the face covering.
Easy enough to do. You can absolutely do that. And I'll say, yeah, so you have day one, you're doing quite a bit of research, and then for the rest of the week, you are just doing some day work to get the money to dress Sal up. Easy enough to do. And also, yeah, and of course, that halfway point, you check in with your good buddy doing his work.
After a second day of just absolutely botching breastplates, and got asked to do horseshoes instead, and be like, maybe I can help here. What do you got?
Absolutely. And then that's when Bruce had to maybe give you a little bit of a pep talk and a lollipop.
Thanks, I can always count on you.
Great. Fearon, what are you doing this week?
Okay, I'd like to first get some purchasing out of the way. First off is those business cards.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also I'd like to recruit Delvana to repair the rune charm. I believe the price is 12 silver pieces. Oh, sorry, 10 silver pieces.
That is correct, yes. It was 10 silver.
So I will be doing that.
No problem. You can stop by Sigel's office or the library and find her on a day that she's there.
Yeah, I think I talked to Sigel and he said he would let me know that I was looking for her, and we catch up one of these days, and I give her the money.
Absolutely. No problem. Yep, 10 silver to repair that, and then if you're buying like a stack of business cards from the printing press, from Jeff's.
And I imagine I spend that first day that I was working with Bruce, like the rest of the day, I just spend it working over pieces of paper, trying to make like an advertisement that's like a little bit more professional than, the like for the newspaper and the business cards. Like I kind of just work with the people at Jeff's to like make a kind of a brand Like I could write out the information, but like I have them, use whatever templates they have to like
Yeah,
make it
yeah.
look official.
You pick out some of the like the default designs they have that are not kind of customized, that don't cost too much, but are like, yeah, these are some of the ways we can have it printed on the card.
Yeah, if there's a graphics art major somewhere in there, I'll hire them on the down low. So like, pay them to make me something cool. Like off the books, of course. They like Jeff's doesn't provide that service, but
Yeah, absolutely. So there, how many of these are you looking to purchase? Just a stack of 20 or so?
I mean, I'd like more because I'd like to be able to throw them around like they're hotcakes. But like I don't know what the technology is, like how difficult or easy this is. Like, how much would a stack of 20 cost?
A stack of 20. A stack of 20. You're looking at not too expensive. You're looking at maybe 1 silver. So you're looking at like a 10 copper for every 10 cards.
So like, how much is 100 then? Would that be like 10 silver or 100 silver?
I would say you could, if you're asking for 100 print, they'll probably give you a little bit of a discount. So you're looking at, so let's see, if it's 1 silver for 20, then you're looking at, for 100, you're looking at 8 silver.
Good, that's what I'll do.
No, that's not right. No, I'm sorry. It would be 5 silver for 100 just off of the, without a discount, because it's 20 cards for 1 silver. We're getting 100 cards.
So 4.
So 4, yes.
Gotcha. All right. So and then I have fight nights on Wednesdays. But all of that other time that I'm planning to use is going to be doing the opposite of what the pirates want me to do, and I'm basically going to spend as much time as I can trying to learn more about the otter business and like working, basically creating contacts with the other fighters in the club. So the first couple of days I would go looking for the Flame. I didn't catch her name. I just know that she's a Gwyn elf and that we had a little unspoken...
Janna.
Janna. Okay. So I'll be hunting for Janna, asking around for her. And basically, I have these business cards and like I leave them places where I am going. And whoever I talk to ask for questions, I hand them a business card and tell them like, you could find me at the Harlequin and Chalice. I'm basically using it just to give out my name, even though they are business cards. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
not necessarily advertising by word of mouth. I'm just handing it out because I want people to, I just want to get them out there, as well as do this. And my overall goal for the week is to just try and learn more about Governor Pajin and whoever was upstairs in that mezzanine that night, because I want to get involved with the government, and I think that I've already found this base in the Otter business, and if I could somehow make this or get involved with it, it'll make things go smoother for everyone.
Okay, so I would ask for a, since that kind of falls under the category of carousing.
Yep.
So it's generally going to cost you 10 silver to be carousing amongst the fighters here. Obviously that might get replaced by your fight night earnings. But make a persuasion charisma check.
Okay, a persuasion charisma check?
Yes. Basically persuading these people to be friendly with you, to be allied with you, to talk about these things.
I got a 9.
9. Okay. So folks are a little cold on this because they're kind of like, when you come up, they're kind of like, hey, man, we don't really want to talk politics. We kind of just want to fight and make money. Like a lot of the people you talk to, like they're not like, no one is like turned off by it or unwilling to talk with you. They just kind of change the subject most of the time when you try to talk to them about the politics of things. Occasionally someone might kind of tell you some information that you already know.
I think I wouldn't like ask random people like
even the people like, even if you talk to like the bookie, like they're just like they're just trying not to talk about it too much. Like this week, like they're mainly, I mean, you would notice things changing in the bar, like the construction is getting a little closer to being complete. You would notice things are cleaner every day that you come in. So like you're not going to get any information from people, but just being around will give you a little bit of information. Like the people are cleaning things up. They're like suddenly there's a lot less smoking going on in the bar. As you see, they kind of like are keeping people a little bit more in a considerate way, as they think that things need to be a little bit more tip-top shape there. I'll say just from being around, eventually you would notice there are, and I mean, this is kind of a call for everyone, and I'll give you all kind of a general vibe on how things are changing in the city over this week as far as like people coming and going. But for the most part, that's not going to change your downtime, because this is really not like you're really just kind of doing day-to-day stuff. Like you're not doing too large of things here, as but you would see kind of a shift in the face of the Otter business, as it is looking a little more like a normal bar, truthfully, every day that you come in. Even the fighting, like they don't mention the death ring at all. Like there's no signage for the death ring anymore. There's just sort of a brawling sign, and they really like are like, it's no longer like just like the pit fight. It's like they're like literally like trying to frame it more like, hey, it's the boxing matches. Like it's much more like they're trying to make it a little bit more respectable, at least for the time being, as you're kind of in and out each day.
Okay. How about actual boxing? Like, can I roll for that as well?
Yes, I will allow that. So it's going to be the same sort of way that we had it done before. We're going to do a few rolls to see if you win anything that night. This is not going to be like the last one where they had the whole like betting and whatnot. This is literally just to see if you have any earnings. So again, same as last time, there's gonna be 3 checks. You're gonna be doing an athletics check, a dexterity, acrobatics check, and a constitution check, with the bonuses equal to a roll of your largest hit dice. So let's do the strength check first.
Okay.
DC is 24.
Oh, sorry, that was a
It's an athletics
throw.
check. Sorry, it's an athletics check.
Yeah, I gotta re-roll that. Athletics, I got a dirty 20.
Okay, so the first round is not a success, since the DC was a 24. So maybe it's because you're focusing too much on sort of like talking to people and being more of a political, not fully political, but kind of talking politics, that your head's not as in it when you're in that first round as you go in, and the person you're fighting is just bigger than you this time. So go ahead and give me a acrobatics check now. DC is 17.
14.
It is not quite Fearon's night tonight, as we'll go in for the last check with a Constitution, just a straight Constitution, and then roll your highest hit dice.
So, okay. I got a nat 20 on the Constitution check.
Okay.
And the hit dice. What's a fighter hit dice? I don't even know.
I think it's
Hold
a D10.
on. Yeah, I think so too.
That's 20. It doesn't matter. You
Yeah, okay.
succeeded on that one. DC was a 12 for the last one. So it is, it's a rough night for Fearon. but he finishes the night strong, and does get at least one success from the pit fighting. So with slight adjustment to the pit fighting rewards, because I don't think they translate perfectly to what we're going for here. I will say you will still win 15 silver off of that one victory.
And I think that is kind of like a turning point for Fearon. Like the fact that he's happy that he's winning, but the fact that he's not doing as well and like things are changing, it's kind of just like changing his outlook on the whole other as the other business as a whole. Did he ever find Jaina or no?
No, you did not this week. But as you exactly what you just said though. Like even the fighting itself, like there's a point when like the bookie like stops you and like is like, that's not how you like swip his legs or something. He's like, no, that's not allowed right now. And you're just like, the vibe overall is just very different. There's not that raucousness going on during this week. People seem to be on the know though. They kind of understand that like things often happen like this when there's important people coming through town, where they change up their face to be a little bit less rough around the edges.
Mm-hmm. If I think I pretty much rolled for every day. I don't know if that. I mean, like,
there really wouldn't be much else that you could do based on the downtime. You would be using most of your time to have done those three things.
Yeah, I would just be like trying to, get chummy with the people at the outer business, talk more with the people in the bar itself. Like, I'm pretty like well known by the employees by this point, I'm assuming, but not like, not the point that they'd be like doing favors for me or anything, because
Exactly.
I didn't roll that well.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good enough for me. And obviously, like, Fearon would just on the side be training every morning, doing his regular routine of like practicing his swings and doing runs and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Generally keeping to himself, and like whenever somebody would come back to the tavern that we're all staying at, he like, ask them how their day was and, try and be sociable, but never really like follow up with anybody about anything, just like sticking to his own quiet routine and trying to promote himself and the others.
Yeah, I imagine like generally everyone kind of stuck to their own thing this week, but occasionally saw each other and had that polite socializing before bedtime kind of thing, but no heart-to-hearts this week. Okay. So Jacquette, you mostly used up your first day with a lot of this. So is there anything that you particularly wanted to do throughout the week?
Depending on how things go with Mr. De Leon, Jacquette would continue working that avenue, I think.
Okay.
I think he would actually try to see if what was her name at the Cask and Crow?
Kana?
Kana. I think he might be like, hey, Kana, have you ever thought about having a bard here to entertain? And if he could, and he wouldn't push too hard, but kind of pitch it as like not a musician, but like basically a night of stand-up or of like political thought pieces, to like kind of get to the different crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think go ahead and give me a persuasion roll there.
Okay, that's a 28.
Ooh.
Yeah,
finally.
That finally is not a
doesn't
default
quite matter
19
here, but it's all right. I'll take it.
Can I borrow some of those numbers? Can you just like take 8?
No, I want to succeed. I don't know about you. I haven't decided yet.
Okay. So, Jacquette, yeah, like she's very agreeable to it. You would, you know, even in the conversations, she'd be like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I mean, we're really like we don't do a ton of this kind of stuff, like, you know." And she kind of like points around. You notice like this place does have a lot more of a restaurant vibe to this area. Like they don't have a stage. Most of the time, they're just playing music through their enchanted speakers. But she is like, but you know, we are, you know, of course, we're always looking to expand and provide entertainment for folks. You know, maybe if we can set up a special night, we can, you know, try it out and, you know, I mean,
Something different. Maybe I go table to table and just, you know, talk to the folks, you know, give them a little insight into the bigger goings on and try to entertain them on a more personal level. Very different from what anyone else is doing.
Yeah. I suppose. I mean, it would. Oh, you know what? That would.
And then if they want me to leave, easy enough. I walk away. No harm, no foul.
Oh, but you know what it also would do is it would push people to purchase the private booths if they don't want you to bother them.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't want to be a nuisance.
Oh no! Of course you don't. You know, don't you? Of course, we don't want to annoy our guests. But if there's a premium for quiet,
never mind. I don't need an insight check to know where she's going with this.
And you can see like perhaps Kana's entrepreneurship is too much even for Jacquette.
Yeah, Jacquette's like, I might have gotten a little over my head.
Of course. But as you were doing this sort of carousing about the Cask and Crow and everyone is doing their own thing, throughout the week you all would notice, like just walking through the streets, you know, to go grab you know, a bite to eat or something, like you would just notice the streets are just a little bit different. Suddenly there's not as much raucousness. Like people just are not like celebrating the life as much. Like people are just like a little concerned, as you would start to see clear collectives of people who are not like wearing uniforms or anything like that, who you've not really noticed before. You know, like you'd see like three bruisers just standing on one corner, just sort of watching a shop across the street, looking around, keeping an eye out. And this is like probably like halfway through the week that you start to see these just like people who clearly are working for someone, who are clearly on a job, but have no sort of guard uniform or you know, army status. And, you know, even without any kind of checks, people are talking about the governor's men coming through the city, you know, the governor's people checking the city out, doing their own surveying. You might even see occasionally someone who's with these bruisers who looks a little bit less like muscle and more like as close as an official could come. Like they're not in a uniform, but they're dressed a little bit nicer and they have a ledger and they're going from shop to shop, sometimes even just from house to house, asking certain questions. And they start to populate the city more and more every day, you know, until
Fearn's just ignorantly handing them out business cards.
Yeah, but even like exactly like they you know, they don't look out of place because this is a town of criminals. So they just, it's the sheer number of them that start to show up. Then you start to realize even like even occasionally you see one of them might even stop you when you're walking down the street and just ask you a few questions, like how long have you been in Haven? You know, do you live here or are you staying here? Questions that are very much almost like a census is what it feels like as they talk to you. And you know, and then as it gets closer to the end of the week, they're even starting to ask questions like, you know, how do you like living in Hivend? Are you happy? What are you most happy about living here? What do you wish was different? There's like this army of administrators, it seems, backed by thugs, asking people general questions to learn more about the city. And it isn't until towards the end of your downtime week that you start to see it shift from this like army of administrators backed by bruisers and turns more into uniformed people coming, who are wearing the purple and gold colors of the governor's house. And suddenly you start to see signs, posters throughout the city advertising the governor's arrival. And you can see they're even printed with this loose image of him, not a crudely drawn cat like the Jackie Touche posters, but a printed visage of a man.
Touche? Nah, that was too low, Sean.
Just this printed image of his likeness. You can see, like, it's not perfect, obviously. This is like an early, like, using shapes to try to create a image of a man's face versus, like, say, a photograph. You generally get the vibe of what he looks like. He has long, straight hair, somewhat of a receding hairline, not fully balding all the way back, but definitely a retreating hairline. Definitely, you can see like there's some defining wrinkles that they capture in the visage. A very strong jawed face, and all of the images have him with like a very like bright smile. That trying to demonstrate it, like it. For lack of a better way to put it, these look like propaganda posters, as it's declaring the governor's visit to Ivan and Eja. And this being, you can see in the details that this is his first stop on a tour of Eja. But this would all start to appear as we approach the 1st of Anarum, which is the end of your downtime week. He is scheduled to be arriving in 2 days, on the 3rd of Anarum. This would be around the time that you would all kind of be coming back together after your individual time researching, tinkering, carousing. I'll say it's kind of the morning of the 1st of Anarum, or we'll say you all did kind of like your full day's activities. You're getting back for supper time back to the Cask and Crow on the 1st of Anarum.
I think Fearn would try and find Jaquette.
Well, are we all like just at dinner? Like we're all together?
Yeah, I imagine this is like the moment where it's just sort of like, like, oh, we've been all so. I'll say it's like. Yeah.
Well, maybe like Fearn would have insisted before dinner that we get like a private booth where we could all like hang out like we used to do. And then after taking a big swig, he'd be like, "Hey everybody, how's it going? How was your week? You do good things? I think we need to kill the Governor Barjan."
What?
Excuse me?
This started out as like a work week conversation, at the water cooler, and now you're talking about Jacquette closes the curtain. Assassinating the leader of free nations. Even I'm not that psychotic.
But he's ruining this town.
Or ambitious.
Is this just misinformation? What do you?
Okay, so you're not joking.
I've been running around all week trying to get some information out of people. I thought that I was doing good. I helped out so many people moving boxes and handing out business cards and just being all around a great citizen. And what did I get for it? Bupkis. Absolutely nothing. And now I got all these people asking me questions every day as I walk around the streets, and all these gaudy pictures of his face. It's really harshing my vibe.
And so you want to kill him because he's overtaking your advertising?
Yeah, I mean, he's completely interrupting everything.
You can't just kill your problems.
The other business isn't even a place anymore.
John, quickly, can I roll a history? Can I roll a history check as to the governmental and police force of the Aldhalor Islands? Like, if there's a secret police surrounding Governor Padjan?
Sure, give me a history check there.
It doesn't matter because it's me. So yeah, no, I have no idea.
Mike, you know what? I'm gonna give you advantage because you are a native and you live here.
I appreciate the help. 21.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I did bite my tongue there a little bit.
I will say, Mike, you know, given that you sort of spent most of your time outside of the city, and truthfully, Ezra has had the least kind of involvement from the governor, other than kind of the major reforms that he's done. You do know that while he is very socially minded at times, with like thinking about like how to best balance the 5 regions or so, he does have some more brutal methods of ruling, and it used to be a story that would go around the farms of like, you know, the good graces of Pajin gave us these lands to till for the good of the Aldhalor Islands, but if ever we were to stop and the grain were to stop flowing to the rest of the islands, the wrath of the governor might come. So there's always a subtle threat of force from Pajin. As long as times were good, that subtle threat kind of would just drift on the wind. But it was always kind of if things ever go bad for some reason. So that kind of rumor started a little bit more, or that kind of discussion started a little bit more a year ago when the flood came, when the storm hit and things weren't so good. People were a little afraid of what might happen a year's time from then.
He ruined fight night. How am I supposed to make money around here?
Let me be
Anyways,
perfectly candid. This conversation is going to end right now. You're talking about taking down the leader of these islands. I know you're not from here. However, it is... I literally don't even know where your mind's at right now. I don't know who you think that we are or what we need to do. But
Look,
that is not. If you bring it up again, I am going to leave this booth because I'm not getting caught in this absolute nonsense.
Septimus has a
All
very good point, Fear.
Okay, all right, I get it. Look, I'm just tired. I had a long week. I've been doing grunt work, and I haven't killed anything in a long time.
So you just...
And I'm just
Crescent
frustrated.
Tart. What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry.
I don't know what I'm doing
There,
anymore.
you know, you could go to your local garden and kill invasive bug species if you want to kill something.
They won't even let me do that.
Head down to that old temple that you beheaded Hastings at. There are those weird crab things. Test your sword against them.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't had a sword all week. I just got this one. Thanks, by the way, Bruce.
There
Test
you are.
your
What about
hand
you-
axes. You have more weapons than the average bear.
I
If you
gave
wanna
those
put
hand
your-
axes. I sold those hand axes, and all
You
I've
did,
got is
actually.
this stupid lumberjack axe that I got from Billowgrass, and I don't think this thing could take much more swinging. I was really slam. I use it to train, and it's getting pretty worn out.
If you want to put your bloodlust to some good use, did you find anything more? Has anybody found any more about those murders? Track down that murder. Maybe you can get rid of him.
I forgot. Jacquet would have stopped by the Harlequin and Chalice maybe once or twice during this downtime to see if there's a notice from Reardon.
So there would not have been one yet.
Okay. So Jacquet just kind of leans back and goes, "I've got a guy on it, on part of it, but no word yet. I fear the case might have gone a little cold, but we'll still keep it on our radar."
Yeah, he said he handled it, so I didn't pursue. I figured I had a lot of other work to do, but turns out my other work was useless.
Well, we don't know about that yet. Yes, the governor's arrival is overshadowing what you've been doing, but I think with your boots on the ground, so to say, we have a different perspective about what's going on in the city. I genuinely thought that all this hoo-ha about the governor and his laws was a load of ruckus, but I guess this city really does bow down to him when he arrives.
Yeah, maybe the criminal element in the city is less scary than we thought.
No, I think they just know the laws of self-preservation. When the larger predator comes around, the smaller ones back off, right? They'll come back once the governor's gone. And I'm sure our old friend, Mr. Greaves, Jacquet says kind of in a hushed tone, is only hibernating. Unless, of course, I have this crazy idea where, like, Mr. Greaves and, like, the governor are actually the same person and/or working together. Actually, I kind of thought the Commodore was Mr. Greaves, but I don't know. It's still a work in progress, and I have little to no evidence to back this up, so...
Yeah. Where'd you get this conspiracy theory?
I don't know. You know, in the books I read, there's always this grand conspiracy that the heroes come together to take down.
Hey, that reminds me. Didn't Essa say that we can go and talk to the Commodore anytime? Like, maybe we should get in touch with their office and see if...
I think we can petition to talk with the Commodore at any time. Whether we'll actually be seen is up to the Commodore, well, more likely up to their assistant's discretion. I mean, we have started to make a name for ourselves, and the work you're doing, Fjern, I think is going somewhere. So we could lean on that and try to say, like, hey, Iron and Mana would like to get in on this and see what we can do to uphold the law.
It would probably be a pretty good idea to leave some business cards at their desk at the least.
I think a missive will be fine. In fact, I'm sure we could write something out here and have a courier take it up. They have those kind of things here, right? Yeah.
Can I at least throw some in the envelope?
Sure, that's fine.
I love the office manager at the Commodore's office opens up the package and 10 business cards fall out.
One has a heart.
You only need to give them one. They probably have a Rolodex. You know, they got limited amount of spots.
They want to share with their friends, right?
It depends.
Okay, how about we settle and give them 3?
Sure.
All right. So Jacquet will write a fairly short letter of introduction, just being like, to whom it may concern, the party members of the adventuring group Iron and Mana do beseech the illustrious Commodore. Sorry, Septimus, what's the Commodore's name? Bruce? Fjern?
Commodore's name?
Anyone? I don't want to check my
Wait,
notes.
hold on, I can check my notes. Stop me anytime, Sean.
I'm just
I can
curious to
also
see.
get it.
Oh, fuck.
That's Umadori was her name.
Midori.
Oh, it's gotta be in here somewhere.
Wait, oh, that's the... Oh,
Well,
I guess I
anyway.
do not have it in here.
If,
Alex, add it to the...
Yeah.
well, Essa also said that she had the backing of the Commodore, so if they're hiring us, maybe she already knows who we are.
But we haven't signed on to that contract yet because we aren't sure if we want to winter on some godforsaken foreign island for months on end with no civilization, no feather beds, there will be no fresh wine, no hot baths, and I can guarantee you, to the T, there will be no soap unless we bring it ourselves.
I neglect to see where any of this is a problem.
Creature
Like,
comforts, Fjern. Come on. There'll
None
be
of
no,
the, I don't
no
care
comfort.
about any of those things.
Okay, well, you and I, as we have clearly illustrated for the past 28 sessions, are very, very different people. Do I need them? No, but I want them, and therefore I will have them.
Well, if we want a more amenable job with her, what approach do you think we should take?
I mean, I thought the introduction would be sufficient to meet with the Commodore.
This is a good start. Why don't you continue to fill that out and we can send it to them.
So while you're
Illustrious Commodore, blah, 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 dealings, and he'll kind of, in his flowery words,
Mhm.
write a letter that kind of speaks to the qualifications of iron and mana.
Okay. While you're filling that out and folks are doing as they're doing, there would be a tap at the door, or not the door, the kind of like at the wood of the booth behind in front of the curtain, and Kana would, yep, yeah. And if anyone were to look out, Kana would be waiting there. And she just hands you a letter. This came in earlier for you all.
Oh, thank you, Kana.
Upon opening it, it is simply a notification that Sigil has work for you, available for you.
Well, perfect timing. We can also take a look to see what additional work Sigil can offer, seeing as how at least two of us here are not too fond of the extended expedition.
Thank the gods. I've been bored out of my mind the last couple days.
I mean, this job if Sigil's gonna give us could be paperwork. We don't know.
Oh,
I will not.
I'm
do
saying
paper.
we can at least figure out what it is. I'm not, again.
That's true.
It wouldn't be so bad, you know.
I mean,
Actually, if we're going to be heading up to the Admiralty Court, I can drop this off at the Commodore's offices. We can drop it off at her offices and maybe see if we can sneak in and, I don't know, hide in her office. And then when she comes in, we're like, hey, Iron and Mana, bitch.
Well, all right. So, are we
I
talking
don't
That
about?
was a joke.
with
That was a
the-
joke. I can see by your faces you did not get it.
No,
Well,
that's
'cause
not
it's kind
what
of
my concern
accurate
is.
with
Just you're
you.
talking about going to the Admiralty Court where all these high commodores are. Is pointing to Fear. Is he gonna be okay being around them? Are you
Honestly,
going to control your temperament after what you just said not too long ago.
Where's
I think-
Sal? Just let him boxing match with Sal. That'll get all the energy out of him.
Yeah, honestly, I'm a little offended, Ironheart. I thought you knew me better. I mean, yeah, I have these urges every once in a while, but didn't I come to you guys with
Urges?
a plan and talk to you about, yeah, I mean, like, to beat the crap out of somebody? You never
Like
get
dark
that
urges.
sometimes?
Yes.
No.
Never mind. But
I'm just saying that I didn't go and beat up somebody on the street. I came to you guys and told you about my
And asked us
frustrations.
if you could beat somebody on the street.
Or
I
in
mean-
the privacy of their, personal rooms.
I shelled out an idea out of frustration, and I'm sorry you guys took offense to it. Can we please go to the Admiralty Court tomorrow, and maybe we could find some guards or a Commodore that will give me a job that will allow me to do some roughhousing?
Just a Commodore strolling around. Yeah, we'll find that.
Let's go to Sigil first and see what he's got to offer. All right, and then we could take care of your needs.
Thanks.
I
Send him
completely
to a
missed
brothel.
that last part of that conversation and just came back to take care of your needs awkwardly from Bruce.
Yeah. Jack Wet, I gotta fix this up for you. As Bruce closes the curtain and slides the gun across the table.
Me oh my.
You're gonna have to buy your own ammo for it, but and as far as the cartridges and the modules, I'm figuring that out. That'll take some more time to perfect, and also cost a bit of coin to make work.
Jacquet kind of glares at Bruce, assessing what he means by cost some coin. Like, he's like, does this actually cost coin, or is Bruce just trying to get some money out of me?
The answer is both. If you're
That was more of an internal dialogue to the audience, but okay, I'm glad that your tremor sense can sense that.
yeah, I got you.
vibrations in your brain.
I mean, I think generally speaking, like Bruce is so forthright all the time that I
Yeah,
think
that's
you
fair.
you get the vibe of like one, there's two things here. No insight check required. Like, Bruce obviously will never, like, scam you out of money for something that doesn't cost any money. But Bruce also has worked in the business world for many a year, and he's not going to sell his skills short. He's going to get paid for his work. He's not just going to do it at cost for you.
I already gave you the cloak for free, and this gun I was kind of out of pure interest how it worked and how to put it back together. So.
All right. Well, next time you have a moment, I will gladly provide the necessary coin to see to the weapon's full rehabilitation. Where could I purchase ammo for this?
I think you could just go to blacksmith. Just get little musket balls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the blacksmith could absolutely, especially Autobahn, because Autobahn has kind of a
go
industrial.
See Autobahn. I spent most of the week over there. Tell him you know me. He'll probably give you a good deal, hopefully, based on my work.
Ah, fantastic. Yeah, good work, Bruce.
You're welcome. So
sorry, the instincts.
So after, all right, tomorrow morning we'll go see Sigil and investigate the murders, and then suffice Fearn's needs, or does that sound like a good game plan?
I think that makes sense.
All right, good. And we have a heading.
What have you been doing all week? Gloveless. I pretty much checked in on everyone else, but I haven't spoken to you in a while.
Oh, just wandering the streets, getting a better feel for Hyven. I think I did a pretty good job on my performance last week at the Harlequin and Chalice, but always need new material, and what better place to get inspired than the city itself?
Did you get a call back? Make any more money?
No, I have another appointment, or another,
Gig?
Yes, thank you. Another gig at the Chalice in a week's time, I think is from Thursday. It's 2 weeks out from the last one. And actually, Kana here has agreed to potentially allow me to go around and perform a little for the folks here. We're not sure quite on the style yet, but we'll work something out.
I mean, I was walking around the streets pretty much all week down near the Otter Business, and I didn't see much of you.
Of course, I'm not gonna go by the Otter Business. Are you kidding me? No, I was up in the Admiralty Court, up here by Merchant's Row. Is that what this?
I'm sorry, what?
Hey.
What's the area on the Cask and Crow called?
High Road.
High Road. Around High Road, where the more affluent people live.
Yeah. Speaking of where people live, do you guys know how much properties cost in the Lighthouse District?
Wow, that was like very harsh right turn, my friend.
Yeah, sorry, it just popped in my head, and as a pointed topic.
Would I have heard anything about this, Sean, from my time in the lower ends of the Outer Business area, the skeevy part of town?
I mean, I would say that no one knows what the real estate prices are in the Lighthouse Districts. No one talked to any people who sell or own those buildings. The only thing you would know is that there are several abandoned buildings there that frequently are lived in by people who are going to risk living in an unsecure home, or have refused to leave and are trying to fix them up, and most likely have a deed in somewhere. And most of them have some kind of deed somewhere. You haven't looked into it. You don't know what exactly were the solutions afterwards that happened, or what anything the city did or the Commodore did afterwards. All you know is that there are whole blocks that are abandoned where the tower fell, and then several that are abandoned simply because there's a lot of crime in the area, because it's very unsafe, because there are these abandoned buildings. So no matter what, you can determine that the property values are low, and it's probably anyone who has a deed there who's trying to sell it desperately will sell it for fairly low compared to buying anything anywhere else in the city.
Even
but no
that
one knows
abandoned
exactly.
building on Piscator's Row.
Where we found a dead body.
Wait, we found a dead body
No,
there?
no. The Piscator's Row was not fully abandoned. It's the red dandelion. It's just not operating. The building we found a dead body in is either completely abandoned or possibly owned by whoever killed that person.
Right.
But there are some places clearly where people live and actually live. There was the violinist. There are even Sindel before she was involved in these things. Like, people do live there and own their homes or are renting them. But for the most part, especially if you're off the main road, they're completely abandoned.
I don't know much, just the general rumors, and then I relay what Sean just said.
Why the interest? And Jacquette's a little actually like genuinely interested.
So I was thinking, we should probably get a base of operations, and I was thinking maybe that if I reach back out to hold contact to Koboko, maybe we can have them, fund a territory here in Hyven.
Territory?
Yeah, so there's different branches, as it were. Expand the company, so they have an interest in investing in a building that they can eventually get workers to, and then they can, maybe fix up the lighthouse district in the future. But we can also use that as a base of operations, because
Have you seen the lighthouse district? That's facetious. I know you have, or rhetorical. I know you have. It is abandoned, crime-ridden. Honestly, a terrible place to live. And you want to make a base of operation there? When we have this? He says, gesturing to the Cask and Crow around.
Yeah, but this is costly to live in.
And renovating an entire city district is...
It pays off in the long run.
That's quite
I don't know.
That's quite a long investment, though. That's not going to happen overnight, Bruce.
No,
No, but if you invest in real estate, multiple buildings, if we're able to get folks inside, maybe have commercial zoning as well.
Right.
Don't you guys dare make me start making zoning laws. I guess Sypogen is coming in to make laws.
Well, you know what they say about laws. More laws, less justice.
I don't know about this. What if Sypogen doesn't... If this zone, this area, is so messed up that Sypogen's guards aren't even bothering to put up signs or clean things up, and you say that it's crime-ridden,
Well,
maybe
if
we buy a thing and bring justice to this area, or at least protect the people in it, we can get the attention of those that care about the city. And then once we have their support, it'll be a lot easier to repair it with their funding. I think we should be vigilantes. Let's do it.
Bruce, I think what you're proposing is a really good investment, actually, and I'm all for it. Though, fronting that bill would be a very large upfront expense.
Yeah, so I could see about doing that. There's a lot of questions involved. Right now, it's just an idea. But...
And, I mean, if you can get Koboko's buy-in, I can
Right.
get investors.
All right.
Trust me, if there's one thing I was good at with my brother's company, it was investors.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll start looking at some property for the next couple of times we have off.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, 100% on like a different downtime week, you can absolutely just be investigating. That's like an easy way to spend a week of downtime is be looking into these kind of things.
Wait, who owns this deed? They're deceased, but they still own it? It didn't move to next of kin? What?
Yeah, I mean, especially after, if Sypodgen follows through with like taking a bit of more control of this area, like suddenly there is going to be like people pouring through records, and suddenly there might be like, hey, stuff that comes available because of that, or auctions that might happen.
Yeah, yeah. I think now's the time to buy before he comes in and enacts any laws. Because right now, if it's cheap, and all the crime, as you said, people are going to little holes, or they're trying to lower the. Because big boy is coming to town.
Can we buy the big tower that crashed down?
It's a lighthouse.
That's so cool. Let's live in a lighthouse.
That's a lot of work. Let's take a look.
We should eventually fix it though and name it Lighthouse Touchard. This way, anyone coming into the harbor, or okay, you know what? Let me focus the spotlight away. The Lighthouse of Iron and Mana. The first thing anyone sees coming into port. The shining beacon of adventurers.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves, but that's a great idea.
Too late. I am miles down the road, buddy.
There is something.
We could even put blinders on the light so we can make it a signal of sorts. So that way, whenever somebody needs our help, we could just shine the light. And then I'll know wherever I am in the city to come and fight for justice.
There is something very appealing about the idea of the adventurers, the most famous adventurers in the city, living in a tower at the highest rock, overlooking the entire
100%.
city. But then I imagine you have like one like just guy who's like your servant who also is just like, I'm just the lighthouse keeper, but like when I'm not keeping light, I'm helping them. And they're your Alfred.
Robespierre. It's not my name, man. Your name is Robespierre. Remember when we hired you, you had to legally change your name? You're a scene servant now.
But anyway, as you all kind of discuss these wild dreams of what you could do if you are successfully become famous adventurers, perhaps with 15,000 silver, the things you can do, and you prepare for the next day, where you will go and check with Sigil in the morning to see what job is available to you there, and also potentially have appointments to talk with some of the deans of the schools to see if there's something that you can do to invest in relationships there, or maybe even solicit quests from them. You can fill up your quest log potentially with.
I don't get it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I tease you too much. Yeah.
And
we're gonna fill up the log.
You fill this log up, but there's one that just has this expiration date on it.
Oh shit! We didn't do it. We moved to the next area, and when we came back, everyone was dead. Oopsies.
Everything was a little different. We will also, and then of course, before you decide to go off on another adventure, you'll actually be here for the most part, unless you decide to leave right away and take a quest. You'll at least possibly see the arrival of Sypodgen to Eja and Hyven and see what the fuss is about at the major event of his arrival. And who knows, maybe the Commodore will get your letter in time to invite you to a fancy dinner with him, maybe. Probably not. But anyway, as it is a little past 10, that is it for tonight for us in Paradise. Although I bet you these folks could sit and talk about imaginary real estate investments for quite a while. So we are going to say goodnight to everyone, and we're going to send a raid on over to, let's see, we're going to send a raid on over to our friends over at So Maddie Games. So go ahead and say hello to them. Toss them some love from us in Paradise. But otherwise, we will hopefully see you all very soon Have a lovely night. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you throughout the week, hopefully. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.